right here on Sports Time. Bryant, Brett, Landon with you. I don't know if I like those two fight songs.
I don't know either.
I don't know if they do fight songs up north like they do down here in the South.
That was my idea. Now, which one was Wisconsin?
I don't know. That
was the first one.
The Wisconsin was the first one. Indiana was the second. Okay.
That wasn't on Wisconsin, though, was it?
That was on Wisconsin.
Is that how on Wisconsin goes?
I guess so. At first, when I read it, I thought it was Wisconsin.
No.
Yeah, I didn't like this. I'll be honest. I wasn't a fan of those two fight songs.
Kind of got me fired up to take a good nap. I'm sorry to bring people in at 3 o'clock like this on a Friday.
Slow start. After that,
yeah.
I think the phrase is it couldn't motivate me to make a sandwich.
I've never heard that before. I like that.
It couldn't motivate me to go to a chess match.
Well, yeah, no, I don't think you'd. I'm not a huge fan of those, but whatever. We got them in Wisconsin,
okay,
Indiana, Big
one. Ten fan. Hope you're happy.
Yeah, I hope. If you're a Big Ten fan out there, I hope you really got what you wanted out of those.
See, this is what we get when we try to give the people something.
Yeah, when you try to appease everybody, Brett.
I just thought we've had a lot of Texas, a lot of
Georgia.
Yeah. Shake it up a little bit. Oh well.
Yeah, well, that's how it goes. But
sometimes you break eggs.
That's right.
You don't scramble.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I don't know if that's the saying.
No, but it's I guess that's a saying.
Okay.
All right. Well, I don't know where to go from there.
Do we want to start all over?
I don't know. I don't think so. We're already here, so
I've got Memphis ready to go.
No, we can save that for later. We will be giving away some Tiger basketball tickets later.
There you go. That's the way to start a Friday
because it is a big weekend, really all over the sports world with obviously college football, NFL Sunday, and now we've really got the college basketball season out and running. That game last night between Purdue and Alabama was awesome.
I watched almost all of it.
It was a really good game. Those are two really, really talented teams. Two teams I think can make real runs in March. And, Purdue to go into that environment last night on the road and get a win and do it the way they did it, I was really impressed. And Memphis will see them next Friday night.
Could Purdue share one of those big men with the Tigers for next Friday? Just let him let him play for the other side for one night.
That'd be nice. It feels like they've got a
and they had 3.
Yeah, no, I mean they've got plenty, and there's more coming. The kind of running joke with Purdue is it feels like they always have a guy that's 7'2", 7'3" down there, and they just a couple days ago got another commitment from I think like a 7'2", 7'3" big. That's going to come in next season. So they know what they like, and they go out there and get it.
Big matters.
Big really does matter, and Purdue has seen that, and now they go out there and they recruit that. And, yeah, they got a lot of size. They've got a lot of talent. Trey Kaufman-Wren was back last night. He looked good. He did have to leave late in the game. It looked like a little
Braden Smith set the music.
Oh, he's awesome. That's the thing. They've got 2 All-Americans on their team, 2 preseason All-Americans at least, with Kaufman-Wren and Smith. I mean, both those guys are just incredible, and they looked really good last night.
You know the saying, you win it all, you cut for one shiny moment, you do it with people that are going to be pros, that are going to get drafted.
Yeah.
Braden Smith get drafted? Is he an NBA player?
Yeah, it's a good question because I heard some people talking about this
or is he that Napier Boatwright type?
I think there is a spot for him somewhere in the NBA. It's not going to be a star. It's not going to be a starter. But I see Gillespie for the Suns. You know, he's kind of created. Now the Suns aren't very good, but he's found him a spot, and he's kind of this role point guard that can come off the bench and give them minutes and knock down shots. I feel like he's right there on the edge of being that type of guy and being one of those guys that you just mentioned. But I just look at him and I think he can find a spot somewhere in the NBA.
I'll be fine come late first Monday night in April. One shiny moment finally for the Boilers.
Yeah, no, I would.
We'll play their fight song next Monday.
I can tell you, I don't know.
Got to be better than what we played.
Well, yeah, I don't know though. I'm starting to think the Big Ten might have a rap. I don't know.
Landon, that was not on you. That was on me. Why be different?
I didn't think it was on me.
Well, Brett.
Yeah, it was not good. Good.
Brett, I like it. You know, switch it up a little bit. You know, get some new flavor in here, and
see that's what you get when you succumb to Tech's pressure of, we don't need the SEC all the time, and we're going to try a little diversity, and that's what you get. We get fired up to go out to a hacky sack match.
Yeah, that doesn't get me very fired up. But hey, we'll be better next Friday. How about that? Let's all agree right now. We'll be better next Friday when we start the show. And Brett, honestly, you know who I want to be better? The voters for the AL MVP. I mean, that was absurd last night.
I thought of you when I saw the vote. Very close, but I don't want to rip on Aaron Judge, and I'm not much on Cal Raleigh deserved it. I'm not much on the D word, but Cal Raleigh deserves it. He did something a catcher, all that crouching down and the foul tips off the wrong places, and he stays to stay in a lineup. Never mind then to produce from both sides. I think a lot of that was big city and pinstripes.
Yeah, and I think that played a big factor.
We're going to get to more pinstripes in a second with the Josh Pastner quotes from Jason Bunn's story.
Okay, well, yeah, we definitely have to get to that.
Gee whiz.
But I mean,
man, if you ever went deep sea fishing with Josh Pastner, you would catch Moby Dick every time you threw your lure out there.
Man, maybe I want to go.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, no, that's you nailed it, Brett. You nailed it. You were all over it. But no, I mean, I think that played a role in it, and I also think, look, we knew that Shohei Ohtani was going to win MVP in the NL. There was no question about it.
Travesty to vote any other way.
Exactly. Everybody knew Shohei was going to win in the NL. And so I saw the post. I don't know if it was ESPN or who it was that posted after, but first time, maybe in forever, first time in however long, that both the AL and the NL have had back-to-back MVPs in the same season. So I think it was
just
Brand,
like Manager of the Year was back-to-back.
That's right. And so I think it was Brand, but I also think there were some people in there that would be like, man, we know Shohei's going to win it. It'd be really cool to have both the MVPs in both leagues be back-to-back, first time in however long. And so but you're right, you can't like say anything bad about Aaron Judge because he had a phenomenal year. He was awesome with the Yankees, but being a catcher, I feel like, has to play a role in there. Not just being a catcher, being an everyday catcher back there. And again, when you talk about MVP, most valuable player, there was not another valuable player more valuable in the state of Washington than Cal Raleigh was to that Mariners team.
Take him out of that everyday lineup.
My gosh. I mean, that is a completely different Mariners team without what Cal Raleigh was doing. If you take Judge out of the Yankees, I don't know if they would have squeezed into the playoffs. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But, I mean, they've got dudes out there. And so does Seattle. I mean, Seattle has plenty of guys. Yeah. But there were a lot of times when, and I guess you could say the same about the Yankees, because you're right, that lineup was... But the Yankees shouldn't be dependent on one player. No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't at all. And so what Cal Raleigh did was just incredible. 60 home runs, and I know everyone's going to point out to the batting average. What do you got to do to win it? I guess hit better than 247. I mean, it feels like all the people that are saying "I told you so" on Aaron Judge are pointing to the batting average. But they all told me the batting average didn't matter anymore. Exactly. I mean, what is it? It's a little bit like when we get to Josh. Well, let's go ahead and get to Josh, Brett, because I don't want to talk about this anymore. I mean, it ruined my night. I'm sorry, Brett. I was last night. Get done with the show. I go to my beautiful girlfriend's apartment. She cooked dinner. I sit down. We're gonna have a nice dinner. I just look at my phone one more time before we start eating, and I see crazy text from Brett. No. And I was like, oh, great. This is going to make the night even better. Cal Raleigh won MVP. I see Aaron Judge. And night's ruined. Forget dinner. Forget everything. Yeah. Night's ruined. Yeah. I started to text you a travesty, but I didn't want to poke it through. Just make matters worse. And I'm in a group chat with some Yankees fans, and so they were letting me hear it. Like they don't win enough. It was just a bad night. It was a bad. That's another thing. Brett. I mean, we're the champions of the little guys. Exactly. I mean, it's crazy. The big guy always wins, Brett. Every single time. Big wins. Big wins. All right, Josh Pastner. Let's get off that topic. Great Jason Bunn story today about his return to Memphis on Sunday afternoon. Looking forward to it. I don't think Josh should be, and he's not going to be. I don't think he should be booed or harassed or vilified or any of those things. And I never ever want to bring family into it. But I know Kerry didn't like how the last years played out for him here and the heavy criticism. I don't want them reviling Memphis, and I don't think Josh Pastner does. And I sure wouldn't want him to. And if she accompanies him and the team, I don't want anyone mistreated. But for Josh, the
the absolute reigning and undefeated and still heavyweight champion of the world of hyperbole. I know he's trying to say all the right things, and he may mean them, but to say that being the coach of the Tigers is like being coach of the Green Bay Packers and the Yankees. Well, first of all, that's not true. And please, dear listener, be patient with me and hear me out on this. I think therein lies one of the issues. I think it's a little puffy for any accomplishment over the last 16 years. And that means a Sweet 16. So if you're really in that league of Yankees and Packers, shouldn't you have been to one Sweet 16 since 2009?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And then if you're being the coach is the equivalent of being the coach of the Packers and the Yankees, and you haven't been, then let me tell you what that makes you. That makes you Phil Bankston and Lindy Infante with the Packers, and it makes you Clyde King and Gene Michael with the Yankees.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
A couple of nobodies.
I was about to say, I don't know if I want to be compared to those guys.
And in the end, Josh did not do anything of any distinguishing moments in Tiger basketball history, because the Tigers are graded by going to and making advancement in the NCAA tournament, and he just did not. And it set the Tigers on a path of depressed attendance. All the while the Grizzlies were coming along, unlike any other Tiger coach had ever had to face, with Grizzlies' success in those years. I want to be fair along those lines. Then not a great hire with Tubby Smith. And now, starting in the early days of his 8th year, but still no NCAA tournament success, and now no crowds and curtains up.
Yeah. And Brett, I'll be honest, I forgot all about the curtains until last Saturday when I was at the game, and I was like, oh man, I forgot about this. I'm not
going to make a federal case out of every home crowd, but the scan count what you saw for the attendance last week was not even close to accurate against San Francisco, and it won't be on Sunday afternoon.
No, it definitely won't be. And so yeah, man, I don't even know what they said the attendance was for that game.
10,000.
Yeah, no, I don't. It wasn't 10,000. It wasn't 10,000. But hey, I guess that's what's new, right?
But Josh Hawkins, Packers and Yankees, you don't have to do that. You don't have to make it worse.
No. But it's Josh. He's
I wonder if he'll wear his COVID mask on Sunday that he wore at Georgia Tech.
the
big welder's mask.
Yeah, the shield. I don't know. I think he retired the shield. I mean, shield felt like it had some magic in it, Brett. They won the ACC that year, got to the NCAA tournament. I mean, that needs to be in the Basketball Hall of Fame or something.
Josh won an ACC championship.
Yeah. I don't know if they played the tournament or something. I think it was regular season. No, it wasn't regular season. It was he won the tournament, and that's what got them to the NCAA tournament, if I'm remembering it correctly. Because he went on the run, and everyone was like, "Wow,
it was very indistinguished at Tech."
Yes, it absolutely was. And then now with UNLV, they're a little banged up. But
he got the job because of a power play to block the last person. And he was standing there after some big names had passed on him.
No, he absolutely was. And they'll come up here Sunday as with a 1-2 record with losses against UT Martin and Montana. So
the Grizzlies, Montana Grizzlies.
Yeah, that's right. Another Grizzlies is gonna play in FedEx Forum. How about that?
Not a lot of games through the years, but longtime Tiger fans, experienced fans like me can remember back-to-back years, appointment TV, and it was big-time matchups.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But things have certainly changed.
And it was a good win last year for Penny's team.
No, it was.
And it'll be a good win Sunday.
Yeah, no,
to get to 2-1.
It's a win you really need to have, especially with what you got the following week at the Baja Mar with what Purdue looks like. So it's a big one Sunday with Josh Pastner returning and the Tigers back at home following that loss against Ole Miss. Like Brett said, we'll talk to Jason Munz a little bit later in today's show. But let me go ahead and set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, Alan Bell. He'll join us from Driving the Line. We'll talk some wagering with him. We'll focus more on the NFL with Allen, but we'll get his best college plays of the weekend. Do that in our next segment. 3:45, Ty Richardson from ESPN Arkansas in Fort Smith. He'll join us, talk the Razorbacks and the SEC. We'll talk a lot of Arkansas football, including what they're going to do with that head coach position, the odds and the who's going to be the coach. It's been flying around. It's been changing every couple of days. It looks like James Franklin might be the leader right now, or the favorite, I should say, to be their next head coach. So we'll see what Ty has to say about that. We'll get to a little bit of basketball with Ty.
I don't know that I can bring up seriously Ed Orgeron wanting that job.
No. I saw that on 3 reporting.
In fact, I can tell you now, I'm going to pass on invoking Ed Orgeron.
Yeah. I know. On 3 had a story. I didn't get to read it with Ed Orgeron and how he would like the Arkansas job. He's also.
I would hire Josh Pastner as head football coach at Arkansas before I would Ed Orgeron.
It also said that Ed Orgeron was interested in the Oregon State job, which I
send him all the way out there.
Well, Brett, I don't know how Edo would work.
I think Ole Miss is on the Oregon State schedule for the next couple of years
right?
too.
Oh, wow.
Maybe not next year, but 2 or 3 years.
That'd be great. So maybe I do want Ed Orgeron up there at Oregon State. I don't know. That would be a weird marriage with him.
I do not remember him, but everybody tells me Orgeron was around in the 80s at Fayetteville in the strength and conditioning room working for John Stuckey, and I thought I knew everybody involved. I think I would remember. Don't you think Ed Orgeron would have stuck out?
You would have remembered Edo. I mean, that's not one that you'd forget about.
I got a decent memory, names and faces.
Yeah, no, you have really good memory. I would think you would absolutely remember Orgeron.
I don't remember him at all.
Wow, interesting.
But things were always kind of partly cloudy in the 80s in Fayetteville.
I guess that's right. But we'll talk a lot of Arkansas Razorbacks at 3:45 with Ty Richardson. 4 o'clock, Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insider and CBS Sports will join us. Talk more wagering with him. We'll focus on the college side of things. We'll also get some NFL, maybe even a little college basketball with Bruce Marshall. 4:30, Brad Bellamy. He'll join us from Landers Ford to give us his Landers locks. 4:45, we'll get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Jason Munns, the Tiger basketball beat writer over at the Commercial Appeal. He will join us. We'll talk a lot of Tiger hoops. We'll recap what has happened through the first 2 games of the season for the Tigers. We'll preview Sunday's matchup against UNLV. As always, Jason Munns presented by Jim's Place in Collierville. 5:30, we'll get to our First National Bank and Trust Friday football forecast. And 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Moe's Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. The hot tub and swim spa clearance sales, they're going on right now at Family Leisure. Hot tubs starting at $24.99. Swim spas starting at $14,999. In-stock patio furniture up to 50% off. Hot tub covers starting at $249, and spa steps and cover lifts starting at just $99. Special financing is available, and if you mention this ad, receive a free gift with a hot tub purchase. So head out there. Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40.
We are Sports Time. We're live and we're local, and we're with you until 6 o'clock. We want you to be a part of our show by texting or calling 901-360-8255. That's our Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. All our guests will appear on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line at 901-360-8255. I'm Brett. He's Brian. Our producer is Landon Schmidt. And we're always in our Family Leisure Studios, no matter where we are. And for the 8th, and I hope the next to last time I'm in Oxford for a football game this year, I hope we have a home playoff game in a few weeks, but I'm in Oxford, but I'm always in our Family Leisure Studios. And the people next door are knocking on the wall. I guess I'm being a little loud. The Great Fight Songs got me too fired up.
Right.
Please forgive me in
either
232.
That or Josh Pastner. Something got you fired up.
Something got me fired up. This hour brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway. And online, very sorry about that, and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2025 models and the 26s rolling in, taking over, and always you can get the special leasing option deals. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by today at Lexus of Memphis, the only Lexus dealership in Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, and that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2026 flagship LS500 and the remaining 2025s, and you'll be looking and driving in style. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day is the weekend in the sports world. It's the weekend here in Memphis. The Tiger football team, They've got a road trip to East Carolina tomorrow afternoon in a game that Tigers 2.5-point underdog. At least that's what it was earlier this week. I don't know if it has moved since then, but the Tigers an underdog on the road after that game against Tulane, that loss against Tulane. And wow, Tigers have moved to a 3-point underdog now for tomorrow afternoon's game against East Carolina. And I should mention, I've seen a couple of the lines have changed of games we're going to pick during Friday Football Forecast. We do the lines earlier in the week. Brett sends those out so we can kind of think about them. And so we don't change them as the week goes on to Friday, because that'd be a lot to try to keep up with
and hard on the bookkeeper.
And very hard on the
late
bookkeeper.
On a Friday.
So if anytime you're confused, you see a different line out there, we play lines from earlier in the week. With Tigers, 3-point underdog. It's still a lot of uncertainty about tomorrow, and especially that quarterback position with Brendan Lewis. We saw him. He's been banged up the last couple of weeks. We saw him leave that game against Tulane and not return. So really unclear who that starting quarterback will be tomorrow afternoon. And what will this Tiger team look like out there? You know, you talk about some of these teams and these late season losses. You get knocked out of that conversation for the college football playoff. There can be some checkout factor there with teams. So hoping that the Tigers come out and are able to bounce back tomorrow afternoon against East Carolina. And then Sunday, Tiger basketball back at home against the former head coach Josh Pastner and his UNLV team. Brett, this UNLV team, it's been a rough start to the season. 1-2 losses against UT Martin and Montana. They score a lot of points, but they show very little defense. I mean, averaging about 91 points per game, giving up about 89 points per game. And the only reason it's 89 is because they only gave up about 60 points in their win. So what do the Tigers look like on the football field, on the basketball court this weekend? It should be a fun weekend.
My top story after tomorrow, the SEC could boil down to a ho-hum 3 or 4 bid league for the college football playoff. A&M, Georgia, Bama, Ole Miss, I think are headed the right direction, but let an upset or two happen, and then that could be derailed. But with a few upsets the other way around, it could balloon up to 5 for sure, and maybe even 6 in mine and Greg Sankey and Paul Feinbaum's dream of 7. If we were going best teams instead of participation trophies, we all know it would be 5+. But let's all talk and act like we're in rec league and we want everybody to get a participation sash and a little trophy and some juice boxes.
Well, yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day, I'm going to keep it short and sweet so I don't lose my mind, but the MVP voting last night, just ridiculous. Cal Raleigh absolutely should have won the MVP in the AL, but instead it was Aaron Judge to make him back-to-back MVP winner in the AL. Now, you can't argue with Aaron Judge and what he did. That stat line, it is very pretty. Batted .331, had 53 home runs, 114 RBI. But what Cal Raleigh did with the 60 home runs, what he did at the plate, what he did as an everyday catcher, and I say everyday catcher, I think that's enough. One of the best catchers in all of Major League Baseball this past season. I mean, pass balls, throwing guys. I mean, he was doing it all. And what he did, the impact he had on this team, just ridiculous that he did not win MVP. But hey, congratulations to Aaron Judge. Congratulations to Shohei Ohtani. But I'm not happy about it.
My not top story, Tigers and UNLV on Sunday at FedEx Forum. 4 o'clock, not exactly Dana Kirk versus Jerry Tark from back in the day, but 2 coaches for the Tigers that both really have been indistinguished in March, and that's what this college basketball world has always been about. It was for Tark, it was for Coach Kirk, it is now. It's about what you do in March, and Josh didn't do anything in March, and Penny hadn't done anything in March. We have a whole new chapter that would begin on how people scrutinize Penny if he were to lose to Josh. I don't think he will. We're not going to do Tiger Bankroll today because we don't have a point spread. We'll have to do it off air, but we'll be honest about it. I'm going to pick the Tigers regardless what the point spread is, and the Tigers should get there and should win. But if he lost to Josh on Sunday, that's the equivalent of Josh losing to CBU.
Well, yeah. I think it's a must-win for Penny Hardaway and this Tigers team. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's go ahead and get to our first break. And when we return, we're talking some wagering. Alan Bell from Driving the Line. He joins us next.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Air. We breathe it naturally. Simple, right? Not so fast. The air you breathe could be hazardous to your health. Don't guess. Be sure with a phone call to the Memphis Mold Inspector, the only licensed mold assessor in the Mid-South. Call the Memphis Mold Inspector to check the air quality inside your home and office. Protect babies, pets, new homes, old homes, employees, friends, loved ones, and you. Just call 901-292-7788 for clean air and peace of mind. 901-292-7788 for the Memphis Mold Inspector.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. I wanted to take a minute and discuss advertising with you. There are so many websites that list the best service provider in your area. Even the BBB has an accredited list. You know the one thing they all have in common? A company like mine has to pay to get on that list. So that begs the question, can those lists be trusted? You know what can be trusted? History. We've been around for almost 30 years providing customers with the best service and the best products that we possibly can. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call. We'll come talk to you and let you decide for yourself whether or not we know what we're talking about. Fiveash Roof Services. Best products, best warranties, and in many cases, the best price. We're fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing. It's what we do. We're here for you.
This holiday season is short. Make every moment magical with a trip to Sissy's Log Cabin. Here, you'll take all your festive looks to the next level and find gifts to wow every one of your family and friends. Discover our unmatched quality, brilliant natural diamonds, and spectacular service when you shop in store or online at sissyslogcabin.com. Make this the most wonderful time of the year with a trip to Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Sometimes life can be challenging. Relationships can be hard. Work can be exhausting. Cold weather can seem to soak into your bones. In those times, there is only one solution: a bar. And not just any bar. What you need is Bell Tavern, Memphis's perfect downtown neighborhood bar. Forget your troubles by settling in at the bar or at a table at Bell Tavern and let the comfortable atmosphere, coupled with the fantastic drinks and friendly staff, wash your worries away. Come to Bell Tavern and meet some friends or make some friends. And remember that all those things out there in the real world are nothing.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM, your Mid-South sports station.
Sports 56 Traffic.
Good afternoon. Starting to build pretty good right now on all the major outbound routes as it gets a little bit heavier on Sam Cooper. Certain sections there going outbound. Watch for radar for I-40 out in Fayette County this afternoon as you continue out past New Airline Road. They're on 40 going eastbound. Again, just be careful. Troopers are out here. Hey, give the gift of clean this holiday season. Save up to 40% off right now on Zips Car Wash gift cards and wash books. Perfect for stocking stuffers. Check them out online at zipscarwash.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Brian and Brett with you, and we got to talk some wagering. Joining us now from Driving the Line, Alan Bell. He joins us every single Friday to talk some wagering. Alan, thanks so much for joining us. A lot of games that we have to get to this weekend, but we have another early one this weekend. I believe I say that. I think we do. Yes, we do. 8:30 in Madrid, the Commanders and the Dolphins. Right now, Miami, a 2.5-point favorite. The total 47.5. What do you like in the early morning game Sunday morning?
Yeah, first off, man, appreciate you guys having me back. Second off, hey, hope you boys got your real IDs because we're going to Spain Sunday. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Look, in this game, just take the over. Take points. Both teams got to go. Both teams got to score. And as weird as it's been, these primetime games in America haven't been great. And it's a primetime game over there, and I think it's going to be solid. So take the points here. Both teams, they're going to run it offensively.
I like that. I like that a lot. Let's get to a noon game, and it should be a really good one. The Buccaneers on the road against the Bills. Right now, Buffalo, a 5.5-point favorite. The total 46.5. Two of the top teams in all of the NFL right now. What do you like in this one?
I like the over 46.5 in this game. All right, you're going to see two teams that really need to pick this thing up. The Bucs coming off that loss against New England. Buffalo coming off a drubbing against the Miami Dolphins here. They have got to go. Both of these teams do. So don't try to pick a winner because you'll just pull your hair out. Just bank on points. That's what's going to happen. So, yeah, take the over 46.5 this game.
I like that a lot. How about Bears and Vikings? This one kind of intriguing to me because it feels like Bears really starting to find something. And on the other side, this Vikings team, they've dealt with a lot of injuries this year, and they're looking to try to figure things out towards the back end of this season. But Minnesota at home, a 2.5-point favorite, the total at 48.5. What are you looking at in this game?
Give me Chicago on the road with the point. Yeah, I like the Bears here. I'm with you. I think they are trying to, and figuring things out, positional groups as they go. They're getting better week by week, right? It's not perfect. However, I love the job that Ben Johnson has done with this team already, and Caleb Williams too. So now that they're scoring some points, man, this team is really formidable. I like Chicago with the points on the road here. Divisional, yeah, going to be a tight one for Chicago.
The trust in Caleb Williams, it's really growing, isn't it?
It really is, right? It really is. And you're starting to see what happens when you have a really good player, young, that's wanting to learn, and a really good coach that wants to teach, right? I think that this relationship is fantastic, and Chicago's going to be better off for it, literally by the game, man. We're seeing.
And Alan, I don't know what would have happened to Justin Fields if he had started off with this coach instead of what he did. But I missed on him. I thought he was can't miss, and he missed badly, and he's never going to be a productive NFL quarterback.
You know, here's the hard part, man, is that look at the NFL draft every year. The first round, it is 50% hit rate if they even get a second contract with that team. So exactly what you just said, these NFL GMs who get paid millions of dollars are in the same boat. This is not easy, and you could have a good player and a bad team or a bad, it's just all these things can go against you. It's really, really hard to be that success unit in the NFL. So when it happens, cherish it, man.
All right, along those lines, new coach of the Giants, should it be somebody not hand-picked, but to bring out the best of Dart, or do you feel like you have enough in Dart and go get a defense and get him the ball back?
I want to focus on Jackson Dart. Don't get me wrong. All right, defense is important, and we're going to address that. But if I'm in charge of that team, Jackson Dart is the man, and I want to utilize all of his assets, right? So I want to focus on the offense. You want a Mike Vrabel type, somebody who's a player's coach who's like, I coach offense, I coach defense, a Dan Campbell, right? Who's like, I'm not afraid to take over. He just needs a leader who's aggressive and knows what he's doing. If the Giants get that, buddy, look out, man. They can go as far as they want.
All right, on Sunday, they're going to be without Jackson Dart, still in the concussion protocol. They're at home, but the Packers are a 6.5-point favorite. The Packers really need a win. Who do you like in Packers at G-Man?
So I like the Packers in this game because you're right. They need to get a win. But I like the over the most, and I know that I've been saying that, but this game, Jameis Winston is starting at quarterback, and let me tell you, Jameis Winston is one of the most beloved players in the NFL, whether you like him or not. Every player out there loves playing with him because he's aggressive and he has fun and he's not afraid to throw the ball. He'll throw for 350 yards and maybe 3 interceptions and maybe 3 touchdowns, right? Like, it'll be all over the place. Take points in this game, but you're right, too, on the Packers. Buddy, they have got to get a win in the worst way.
I think Jameis is still all-time leading passer by yardage in Buccaneer history.
You know what? There you go. Man, I love watching him play. Like, it can go any route, but he goes out there and has fun and is not afraid to sling it one bit.
No, he absolutely is not. Sunday Night Football, Lions and Eagles. Right now, the Eagles a 2.5-point favorite, total 46.5. What do you like here?
Man, all right, the Eagles are tough to bet against, but I like where this Lions team is, and I think that you're going to see them just throw basically an offensive onslaught at Philadelphia, and not many teams can do that, but this Detroit team can. You've got Dan Campbell, who took over play calling duties from the new offensive coordinator, and, buddy, did it work. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go out and score 40, but they're going to score some points. Roll with the Lions here, even though I hate betting against the Eagles because they run the football and play defense. But Detroit's on a mission right now.
And it doesn't feel like Detroit. They're in awe or scared of anybody. Now, the baton won't get past with a Sunday night in November win. It doesn't get past unless they win in Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara and the Detroit Lions finally get their Super Bowl. But they're not going to go in there Sunday night scared.
No, not with Dan Campbell as head coach. If you walking in scared, you ain't walking in. You just sit on the bus and just watch. Yeah, he ain't putting up with that at all. And you're right. I love watching this team, man. They're a lot of fun. Jared Goff, he's a tough dude, man. I like watching him.
Dan Campbell seems like the kind of guy that he's not scared of anything but maybe like a little yapping Pomeranian. That might freak him out.
Yeah, like he's like a little baby mouse running across. You know, he's jumping on a chair. Other than that, he's good to go.
I mean, would take on an alligator but scared of a spider.
That's exactly it. Like in the cartoons, he's like the big elephant, you know? Like scared of the little mouse. Yeah.
That's funny. Alan, before we get to some college football, what is your favorite play in the NFL?
The Titans +7. Weirdly enough, all right, you got Tennessee.
Wait a second. I think we've got a bad connection with Alan from Nashville. Alan, this is live radio, and we're really serious about winning. Did you say Tennessee Titans? Ship to shore to Alan Bell. Did you say Titans?
I did. The Tennessee Titans +7. We're not saying they're going to win outright, but they're coming off of a bye, and I'm just telling you, I've worked in that organization before. There is no love lost between Amy Adams Strunk and the city of Houston because she remembers how that city treated her father when they were like, it's not good. I'm just telling you. And we talked about this last time when Brian Callahan lost to him. He was fired. So everyone understands. Go out. Not saying they win the game. +7 pick.
It's funny you say that about, and it goes back way back with the McNairs and the Adams. But the one year the Oilers were here, the Tennessee Oilers playing here in '97, there was a person I knew that really got extended with them with some credit for stuff the team was doing. And I said, boy, I don't know if I'd get that extended with Bud Adams. He said, well, he's a billionaire. I said, yeah, he just told his hometown to stick it. I don't think he would mind walking out on a bill to you.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah, he's already done it to the big one. That's so true, man. That's a great point.
That's right. Alan, before we let you go, what are your favorite play or couple of plays in college football?
Yeah. So, all right, look, we're all in here, all right, on Vanderbilt, and we're all in on Ole Miss. I think Lane Kiffin is going to dial one up this weekend. I'm all there. And then, roll with those two. Stick in the SEC. You got it. Hey, and a good one tonight.
Vandy's open date this week.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I was thinking about the Vanderbilt game last week. Now, all right, just stop there. That's all we need to do. Stop there. Yeah. Now, Louisville tonight, -2.5 against Clemson. Clemson's getting some love here, but Louisville knows they've got to blow Clemson out. Just handle your business. Take Louisville 2.5 tonight.
I like that.
Okay. What about Tennessee and the whopping 41.5?
It's crazy. New Mexico State, right? Like, this game is so strange. I think Ole Miss just played one of these, right? It's odd. It's too many points, right? Like, you can take the over if you want, because Tennessee's coming off a bye week and a loss. to Oklahoma. So, yeah, if you fear Froggy, do it. Yeah, I mean, 40.5.
Well, I just may.
Yeah, I
just may feel it.
I am going to stay away from that game tomorrow. Yeah. But, Alan, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your weekend. Good luck this weekend. We'll do it again next Friday.
Hey, appreciate it, boys. Thank you, man. Y'all be good.
Thanks,
Great
Alan.
stuff.
Right back at you. Alan Bell joining us from Driving the Line. Joins us every Friday to talk some wagering. But we need to get to another break, and when we return, we're going to talk more college football. We'll talk the Arkansas Razorbacks and the SEC. Ty Richardson from ESPN Arkansas in Fort Smith. He joins us next.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis has serious vans for serious work. At 4430 American Way, they are the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet? New or used, they've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter Van headquarters, 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road.
It's takeover time, and you'll know when. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors, and the takeover time I mentioned is when your house has been on the market for so long and you want somebody to come in, take over, properly market it, and get it sold. People often say when you want the job done, call Sheldon, because I have a highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in what you make and when. It involves preparation before you go on the market, along with proper presentation and accurate pricing based on our ever-changing market and rates, and being made aware of what's going on around you so you can make intelligent decisions, not merely guessing. Call me at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com and let me take your listing over and get it sold. I may be lousy at golf, but I sure do sell some homes. Call me, Sheldon Rosengarten, 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com.
Approximately 40 minutes. Texas was feeling unwelcome. Now Texas is an open door, literally, to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts in person.
Hi, welcome in.
They're powered by Smart Tech and ready to do your taxes for you. Get real-time updates while you go about your day. Confident your taxes are done right. Now this is taxes. Intuit TurboTax, NYC opening soon. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With over 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back in Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to talk the Razorbacks, and joining us like he does every week to talk some Razorbacks and the SEC, we got to talk with Ty Richardson.
Time to talk Razorbacks on Sports Time. Joining the guys is Ty Richardson from ESPN Arkansas to talk all things Hogs and SEC. On Twitter X at Ty Sports Radio, here's Ty Richardson with Bryant and Brett.
Come on, all you Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those Hogs!
Ty Richardson joins us every Friday to talk the Razorbacks and talk the SEC. Ty, thanks so much for joining us. Obviously, one of the big topics of conversation out of Arkansas right now is who will be the next head coach, and it seems like over the last week or two, I know there's a lot of people on social media that likes to point out the Kalshi odds and different odds that they're seeing online. It seems like James Franklin has made a jump in those odds to be the next Arkansas coach. What are you seeing? What are you hearing about this head coach opening for the Razorbacks?
Well, it's Ryan Silverfield, guys, at the top of Kalshi about 2 weeks ago, and now James Franklin seems to be up there with different odds. I'm just kind of waiting. I don't want to make a declaration. I don't know any inside stuff that I would be willing to put on air or anything, which is kind of lame. But sometimes it's just better to hold back and not say anything than be wrong about 50 million times. But it's a wild coaching search in Fayetteville. I'd rather be in the situation in Oxford where you're just wondering if your coach is staying or not. I think Lane Kiffin's going to stay, but man, it's a little different times here in Fayetteville.
Ty, do you think it is completely Hunter Yurchek's decision, or is it out of his hands? Is it a select group of boosters, or is it a collaboration, or is Hunter Yurchek just going to really just walk up to the podium and name the coach without any real input?
Well, Stats, you know this because you've been in this a long time. When people give money, they want say and they want insight and they want to know what's going on. You're not going to give umpteen $1 million unless you have a say. And that was what John Tyson and Warren Stevens did with John Calipari. And I would guess, you're going to have more boosters because you got to raise more money for football. There's going to be a collaborative effort. What that looks like in terms of what they end up hiring, in terms of a sitting head coach, a guy that's sitting on the sidelines, or the broadcast booth, I don't know. But I would be shocked if this was all at the feet of Hunter Yurchek. I just can't anticipate that happening.
All right, Ty, I can't believe I'm even asking this question, and I'm not asking it probative and going in on you. I'm asking it kind of really in the bigger picture. You mentioned John Tyson and Warren Stevens and their interest in and love of basketball. Do the Razorbacks still have Mr. Big donor that loves football?
We're about to find out. I mean, because, guys, here's what's going to happen. You got this new television contract in 2030, and I think we spoke to this a little last week. Arkansas, you're 16 out of 60 in the league. You just lost to debatably 14 out of 16 in Mississippi State on your home field last week. And so legacy is always a fun word to toss out. It's like either football, basketball, baseball, coach, player, legacy. If you're a big-time donor to Arkansas, what a legacy you could leave by restoring prominence within this program here in Fayetteville. I think you'll find out a lot about the willingness to put up for football in this next coaching cycle and whoever they hire. If they go get somebody that's not as heralded and not as wanted other places, then I think the answer is waning. That's if they get someone that you didn't expect and it's a pretty credible head coach, then obviously there's guys in Fayetteville and outside that are just fans that still want to see this program have success again.
It seems like James Franklin is at the top of the list. A lot of people that I talk to, a lot of fans, Arkansas fans, they would really love to see James Franklin as the next head coach. Who do you think comes in after that kind of 2-3 in terms of what fans want?
Well, people keep pointing to Alex Dolish because of the Greenwood connection with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
I believe his father-in-law still lives in the area. You got that. Mentioned Silverfield. I think just because of Memphis beating Arkansas, and he's a good group of five coach. I don't know, to be honest, Brian. I don't know if there's that 1A, 1B, 1C. I would be fine with Franklin. I think that he has the ability to rebuild. They're not going to win a national championship, and I don't anticipate them going to the playoffs soon, but I think you'd have a solid program with James Franklin as head coach. It's just a matter of quarterback and what that play would look like moving forward.
He's respected. He's respected, college football figure, respected in this league, having done it at Vanderbilt. He has the gravitas. That would win a press conference. Then he's got to go win where it really matters on the field. We're talking Razorbacks with Ty Richardson. We do every week. Ty, tomorrow morning at Baton Rouge, it's going to feel different. Early game, it's going to feel different for LSU. I mean, who saw Frank Wilson versus Bobby Petrino coming in summertime? Anybody that had that at media days, they win the prize, don't they? What do you expect tomorrow on the field from both of these teams?
Man, I expect a sleepy LSU team that is keeping Arkansas in it for about 3.5 quarters and then finding a way to win, or Arkansas, I guess, finding a way to lose. It was funny listening to Frank Wilson on the teleconference stats. You probably heard they're not used to early morning games in Baton Rouge, and so he's talking about like adjusting and doing that was just comical to me. But it's the truth. I mean, there's not going to be. I don't anticipate there being a lot of fans there tomorrow relative to what that stadium usually holds, and I think Arkansas can take advantage of that. Are they going to win? No. I hope I'm wrong, but I expect Arkansas to have a decent offensive effort and a decent defense, but at the end of the day, I think LSU's talent is too much, and the Bayou Bengals walk away with their bowl-eligible sixth victory tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. LSU kind of looked like a mess at the end of that game last week, and it really didn't seem like it had much to do with the on-field kind of quarterback, who we're going to go to, and you might see some chaos with this LSU team. I do want to get in some basketball with you before we run out of time. Arkansas basketball is a fun game over the weekend against Michigan State. What have you seen out of that game and the first couple games of the season for John Calipari's team?
Well, they got freshmen like every other college basketball that didn't play up to standards in their first true road test. I mean, that was a great environment if you guys get to watch it. The Breslin Center is an awesome college basketball venue, and while Malik Thomas and Darius Acuff have looked pretty good thus far this season, they struggled, and those are their two primary scores. Guys, here's a tidbit for you. I looked this up. Stats, you were talking about the two interims earlier, which I don't think happened since, like, it's been like 50, 60 years. But there has not been a freshman on a national championship team in the top two of scoring since 2015 with Jahlil Okafor. So since 2016 on, the top two scorers of every national championship team were a sophomore or above. Malik Thomas and Darius Acuff currently lead the team in scoring, and I would expect that to continue. So if I'm an Arkansas fan and the road is a national champion, I don't know if I'm high on that. Plus, their front court issues you just worry about. But there's a lot of season left, and they got 3 more games till they play Duke on Thanksgiving, Brian.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And I thought looked really promising in that game. Brett and I were talking about it yesterday. It kind of almost felt like maybe that was one where Cal loses that game against Michigan State and is kind of fine with it. You know, it's kind of maybe a little happy. We had a guest yesterday
teaching tool
that said, you know, Cal's probably happy with that loss against Michigan State in terms of what that could turn into for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think that you're right, Brian. You can learn a lot more in a loss than a win. I'm not a moral victory guy, but any coach you talk to would tell you that same thing. So he can use it. He can be like, okay, guys, this is where we struggled. I think they're a lot more apt to listen following a loss than they would be a win. You got Stanford tonight, I should say. No Bucky Ball. He's in College Station, but got a couple tune-up games before you play John Shire's Blue Devils here in a couple weeks on Thanksgiving. So there's a lot to learn because this conference play, just like last year, it's going to be really difficult.
No, it absolutely will be. Well, Ty, as always, thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you again next Friday.
Brian, Stat, love coming on with you guys. Appreciate it as always.
Thanks, Ty.
Thank you, Ty. Be safe.
Ty Richardson joining us every single Friday to talk the Arkansas Razorbacks. And before we get to a break, I got to remind you to perfect time this weekend, head down to Frontier Western Store. Family owned and operated since 1967, Frontier Western is your one-stop shop for all the biggest brands in Western wear. The one-stop shop for Carhartt in the Mid-South, but they've also got you covered with plenty of other brands when it comes to shirts, shorts, jeans, outerwear, whatever you're looking for, they've got it in stock. Frontier Western also has has you covered with all the brands like Ariat down to Wrangler when it comes to jeans or even some of those outerwear products. And you'll love how easy it is to find the perfect size and style for you. While you're there, check out Frontier's world-famous boot showroom. Whether it's work boots or dress boots, Frontier has you covered for the entire family with plenty of in-stock proven classics like Ariat, Dam Post, and Durango, and that's just to name a few. Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know you'll be getting the best deals. Head down to 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Check out the entire selection. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. 7 p.m., and Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. for Frontier Western Store. Let's get to a break, and when we return, we're talking more wagering. Bruce Marshall, he joins us next.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Hi, this is Greg Gaston with Sports 56 Radio. I'm sure you've heard the name NST Law. They've been a trusted name in Memphis for as long as I can remember. And to back that claim up, my family has hired NST Law both times we've been involved in an accident. NST has been standing up for folks in Memphis and the Mid-South community for 3.5 decades. They've won billions for people. That's with a B. And that's real numbers for real families like mine. If you've been hurt and it wasn't your fault, NST knows exactly how to fight back. If the insurance company offers you a check fast, hold up. Call NST first and make sure it's fair. You may not need a lawyer today, but if someone you love gets hurt in Memphis, tell them to call NST. They've helped generations of families in Memphis, and they'll treat yours like their own. You know the jingle. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000. That's 683-7000. Or visit nstlaw.com.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswingerglass.com. Binswanger Glass.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Sponsored by Armstrong Pharmaceuticals.
Sometimes life can be challenging. Relationships can be hard. Work can be exhausting. Cold weather can seem to soak into your bones. In those times, there is only one solution: a bar. And not just any bar. What you need is Bell Tavern, Memphis's perfect downtown neighborhood bar. Forget your troubles by settling in at the bar or at a table at Bell Tavern and let the comfortable atmosphere, coupled with the fantastic drinks and friendly staff, wash your worries away. Come to Bell Tavern and meet some friends or make some friends. And remember that all those things out there in the real world are nothing.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. TDOT is working with a couple of wrecks right now as traffic volume increases pretty much where you would expect for a Friday. You know the drill. Give yourself plenty of extra time as it picks up here in Midtown. In a couple of spots, especially 240 South at South Parkway, it's heavier than it was over here on 240 up by Poplar. As you work your way past Walnut Grove, expect that to get a little bit heavier, especially in the eastbound lanes, probably in the next 15-20 minutes. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry is your full-service, family-owned jewelry store. Shop local this holiday season. Why? Because you will save a lot of money at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with John Harden, weekdays from 11 to 1. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
When you hear the sound coming, hear the drums drumming.
Welcome back in Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our second hour on this Friday afternoon. We got to talk some more wagering. We do it at this time every week with Bruce Marshall.
Joining the guys every Friday is college football historian and Vegas legend Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insiders, CBS Sports, and his own website, bamsports.net. With over 30 years on Memphis radio, with handicapping and sports talk, here's Bruce Marshall with Bryant and Brett.
Bruce Marshall joins us now to talk some wagering. Bruce, thanks so much for joining us. Plenty of games to discuss, but let's start with the slate of games we have tonight. 2 games, both games including a top 25 team. You've got Clemson at Louisville at 6:30 locally. Louisville 1.5 point favorite, total 50.5. And then later tonight, Minnesota and Oregon. Oregon a 25.5 point favorite, the total 44.5. Anything you like in either of these 2 games tonight?
Yeah, Brian, I like Clemson quite a bit here tonight. It looks like they're on their way to perhaps salvaging something from this season, and obviously very disappointing. And we talked about Clemson throughout the year, and even back in late August, I thought Clemson was a lot bit overrated coming into the year because of all those returnees there. But it was not a great team last year. It was a good team, but not great, even though they slipped into the playoffs. And we sort of saw them exposed there in September. Then, Klubnik got hurt. But since he's come back and since they had that bye week in late September, they haven't actually played all that bad, at least when Klubnik's been in there. And he's put up some good games lately, and they showed some pride last week and really took care of Florida State right from the outset. I am kind of down on Louisville right now. I think they've lost some altitude here after that Miami game. Okay, here's the 3 games since. Boston College at home, real struggle. I mean, they're almost a 4 TD favorite. They struggled in that game. They were down in the second half at Virginia Tech. They did finally rally back, but not a great effort. And then last week, the coup de grace, you're almost a 3 TD favorite at home against Cal, and you lose. Not good. Miller Moss's numbers have really been sagging the last month at quarterback, and we saw this from him last year at USC. Good, solid September. By November, Lincoln Riley benched him. It looks like the same thing is sort of happening right now to Moss. I think Clemson wins this game outright tonight, and just sort of down on Louisville right now.
What about the game on Fox? Oregon minus 25.5 at home against Minnesota. Oregon, they have to have it.
Yeah, that's getting up there in this range where I'm not sure how much of an edge there is. I just don't know that Minnesota is going to be able to score enough to make that even a little bit interesting tonight. It's a pretty pedestrian attack. We saw them a couple of weeks ago at Iowa just absolutely do nothing. Their previous game on the road was Ohio State, did nothing. I can sort of excuse that, but even before that, the road game against Cal, only 14 points. They've scored 20 points in 3 road games this year. And the redshirt freshman quarterback, Drake Lindsey, has been sort of in and out, and they're not running the ball as good as they did in the past either. So I'd probably more lean to Oregon there, just because I don't think Minnesota has enough offense to do much at all.
Drake Lindsey from Fayetteville, Arkansas, his grandfather Jim Lindsey and his uncle Lindy Lindsey, both, of course, Razorbacks and very influential in that program. And there's some scuttlebutt that he could portal to Arkansas next year.
Yeah, we've heard PJ's name come up before, and into the carousel. I mean, he'll probably get to another minor bowl. He's won, I think, 7 straight bowl games. So Fleck is, one of these names you hear, and we'll see what happens. But man, it would help his candidacy if his offense showed something, and they're just not showing much.
Bruce, who do you trust more, Texas A&M or Ole Miss?
Right now, maybe Ole Miss, just because, in recent years, this is really uncharted territory for Texas A&M. Now, Ole Miss is sort of getting up there too, but A&M, I'm always a little leery, Brett, at this time of the year when a team does not have a loss at this point, and it just seems like the pressure ratchets up, a little bit more each week. I mean, A&M has been, sort of flawless this year, but this is now, you're talking about unbeaten late into mid-November here, and we will see. We'll see tomorrow, the South Carolina game, if they can handle this big point spread. I think they might, but this is really uncharted territory in recent years, at least. I don't think A&M has been up this high in the rankings, Brett, I want to say since that 75 team on Emory Ballard. They got up to number 2 in the country late in the year, and then they lost that game to Arkansas right at the end. So it's been a long time since A&M's been up at this level.
The Teddy Barnes game, Scott Bull to Teddy Barnes at War Memorial Stadium, that landed Arkansas in the Cotton Bowl against Georgia, and A&M had to come to Memphis to play USC in really a great matchup. Okay, and you answered it for the big picture. Now for the smaller picture, who do you trust the most for tomorrow? A&M laying at 17.5, or Ole Miss? It was 15.5 early in the week. It's all the way down to 11.5 now against the Gators.
Yeah, and I've been trying to figure out why this number's going down so much. At 11.5. I'd probably say Ole Miss. I mean, it's a little bit less of a price than they've got to get over the hump than A&M does. Florida looks an absolute mess. I mean, I think they would probably forfeit the rest of the season if they could after that non-effort against Kentucky last week. It looks like since the coaching switch to Billy Gonzalez, Brett, they had that one game against Georgia where they put all their eggs in that basket, and it was a pretty supreme effort, fell just short, and then they were just out of a petrol last week, and they didn't do anything at Kentucky. So I'd probably say, Ole Miss will have a little, should be a little bit more solid tomorrow, especially with the spread more favorable. That's a high number with the A&M. South Carolina, by the way, Shane Beamer, he just dismissed Mike Shula as his offensive coordinator. We sort of predicted that earlier in the year. Shula was not cutting the mustard, and the whispers about Beamer going back to Virginia Tech are growing louder. So we'll see how that works out at South Carolina.
I thought we may get you back to Oxford. You went to the Ole Miss Kentucky game in Lexington and was trying to get you to Oxford. I didn't know I was going up against the first time all together, all the grandchildren together with you this week. Wow. I can't fight that with Ole Miss in Florida. Absolutely not.
I know. We got them all up there together. First time we've had them all at one, because they're all spread out all around the world. So we got them at one spot. That was pretty good. The funniest thing last week, so I was up in the Bay Area for, over a week. And I actually convinced my wife to go to the Air Force. I took her to the Air Force San Jose game, which that's a whole story unto itself. You should have seen her try to understand what Air Force was doing. She watches pro football more than college. She certainly doesn't watch service academies. And she's saying, "What is this team doing? She couldn't. How do they play like this? Don't they throw?" And I said, "Just wait." She said they're horrible. And she started to knit. And she was so exasperated. But anyway, that was one of the highlights last week.
Funny. That is great. Boy, that's love if you can take a wife to Air Force in San Jose.
There you go.
Takes a lot. Bro, let's get to Bruce. Let's get to this game tomorrow morning. Top 25 matchup. I've got ESPN2 on right now. I've got the game day set up. Notre Dame and Pittsburgh. Notre Dame, a matchup between two top 25 teams, and Notre Dame, a 12.5-point favorite on the road against a ranked opponent. That feels like a lot of points.
It does.
And these freshman quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. 2 good freshman quarterbacks, and I kind of like Pitt, although I'm a little leery here, just because I've seen Notre Dame run up some scores on people, so I'm not sure I want to pick a fight against the Irish here, but if I have to make a pick, I'll take Pitt. It's interesting. The college football season sort of runs through Pittsburgh here, at least a portion of it, the last few weeks. This is Notre Dame's last game it would have a chance to lose. Notre Dame wins this game. They're going to be a huge favorite in their last 2 games. Syracuse and Stanford. They will be in the final 12. This is sort of their play-in game. Pittsburgh is in the mix, but it's got, after tomorrow, they've got Georgia Tech and Miami. Very important for Pitt to get in the ACC title game and for those other teams as well. So these are all big games for Pitt the next few weeks. And even, Pat Narduzzi even mentioned the other day that the Georgia Tech and Miami games were actually bigger for Pitt, and he's technically right because their ticket to the ACC championship game goes through beating Miami and Georgia Tech. So those are bigger games. But for what it's worth, both these freshman quarterbacks have been great. Carr better than anybody thought at Notre Dame. Mason Heinschel, since Narduzzi put him in the Boston College game, Pittsburgh is 5-0 straight up and against the spread. And Heinschel, right from the start, you could tell that he did not look like a normal freshman quarterback. He was very poised. He was making throws all across the field. And he's been almost flawless for Pitt, 12 TD passes in 5 games, and they are rolling. So I'm going to lean to Pitt a little bit tomorrow, 34-24, the score forecast. They may squeeze in there against the spread, but I'm going to be watching them the next 2 weeks against Georgia Tech and Miami as well.
Heinschel I guarantee you he can get $2 million to play somewhere in the SEC next year.
Yes, he might even. Yes, I could see that for sure. They're going to have a hard time keeping a hold of him. By the way, he was a very under the radar recruit. He was only recruited, I think, by a couple of MAC schools and Pitt. And boy, a lot of schools missed out on him.
Yeah,
Bruce, I want somebody to have the appetite for these 3 coaches. But if I'm hiring a coach, I wouldn't hire any of the 3, but I want somebody else to do it. Narduzzi, Mora, and Justin Wilcox.
You're right. They've all done pretty well. I think, Wilcox working in those constraints in Berkeley. He's had chance. He apparently was up for an interview at Oregon a couple of years ago, which is his alma mater, and he decided not to pursue it. Narduzzi is he's a little bit of an acquired taste, but his job that he's done at Pitt.
So is Mora.
Yeah.
Now Mora is very interesting because he's got UConn Bowl eligible. This is 3 or 4 years. That is a basketball school now, so it's Dan Hurley gets mostly the nil money, and Mora though has got these guys punching above their weight, and I think he has really rehabilitated his head coaching credentials. So this carousel is going to spin pretty wild in a few weeks. Mora could definitely end up somewhere if he wants, though he seems to be pretty comfy up there at UConn. We'll see.
All right, plug us in down in Baton Rouge. What are they thinking for coach, and what are they thinking for really early tomorrow morning against the Razorbacks at Tiger Stadium? That will be a lot of empty seats.
Yeah, and it's interesting, if they're going to start Van Buren, because it was Frank Wilson finally pulled Nussmeier last week, about time, and Brian Kelly had not done that this season, and the offense moved a little more with Van Buren, but it was kind of late, and not a whole lot happened. But it's just been a mess all year for LSU, and but I think they should give Van Buren a look. Talk about a bad decision. Nussmeier could have come out and might have been a first-round pick last year. Instead, he decided to come back for one more year, and his credentials have really been damaged. I thought Arkansas was going to get one of these before the season is over, and Petrino hasn't won one of these yet. He had a couple close calls his first 2. They've had a week off. Maybe this is the week Arkansas gets something. The effort has been there. They've had 2 weeks to stew after the Mississippi State loss, but they were in all 4 of these games with Petrino. And I think they might get one more. I am so unimpressed with LSU. The offense is completely broken, and I'm not sure Van Buren's going to do any better than Nussmeier was.
What about coach?
Boy, they are still talking. They keep talking about Lane down there, and I was on with Jimmy and Charlie in Baton Rouge this morning, and I said I'm not sure Lane's going to go, and that's a place. There are very few schools where you can say you had the 3 coaches before Kelly all won a national title there. So I mean, the resources are there, and everything is in place, but the pressure is just through the roof, and there's not many coaches, I think, who can handle that. Lane probably could. I'm not sure he wants to go there, but I mean, they are shooting very high. They seem to think, there's some talk about James Franklin down there, but that seems to be a backup plan. I think they're going to go and, they might try to pull Eli out of Mizzou. They're certainly going to give Lane a call. They'll work through Jimmy Sexton this time. They didn't the last time because because
That's
Brian
right.
Kelly had a different agent. But maybe Jimmy will help him out this time. We'll see.
Well, they have. It's an absolute fact that 3 of the last 4 have won a national championship. But another fact, 3 of the last 4 have been fired, and I just can't believe Lane Kiffin would ever jeopardize his life with somebody making a Pat Hayden decision on him again.
Yeah. I mean, he's got it so nice at Ole Miss right now, and I mean, there's pressure everywhere in the SEC, but LSU, Bama, Florida, Georgia, it's like national title or bust. You don't win a national title, that's you're going to be out. And that's not quite that way at Ole Miss, although you can win big there, but just for your own sanity, I think it's a little easier to work away from a place like Baton Rouge. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know why it would ever be germane or would come up, but I can't imagine the look he would give me if I mentioned Pat Hayden.
Yes, yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah, wouldn't be a very pleasant look. Talking to Bruce Marshall, he joins us every Friday, talk some wagering. I know there's some big games that we're going to get to in just a second, but before we get to those, Memphis on the road against East Carolina after that loss last Friday night against Tulane. East Carolina, I've seen them as a 2.5-point favorite. I've seen them as a 3-point favorite, somewhere in that range, a favorite nonetheless at home. What do you like in this game tomorrow afternoon? Like I said, East Carolina, 2.5-point favorite, the total 57.5.
Yeah, I mean, it's Memphis has really got to be kicking itself because I mean, back to that UAB game. Yep. I mean, that's the one that really hurt. And then last week they made that belated run late in the game, but just couldn't quite get there against Tulane. East Carolina's pretty good shape in the American. They've got a chance to get in the title game. They've played better down the stretch. They've scored 40 plus in 3 straight games, although they've been hitting the bottom of the league. But this is one of those mid-season hires that worked out pretty well. Last year, of course, they moved Mike Houston out, and Blake Harrell promoted from defensive coordinator. Hauser, the quarterback you had been at Michigan State, has put up some pretty good numbers for East Carolina. He's at least 2 TD passes each of the last 3 weeks. I'm going to lean to the Tigers a little bit, though. I think they got a little class edge here. And we'll see what goes on in the group of 5. Now, this is getting very interesting because all of a sudden we don't know where, teams that we thought, Memphis, San Diego State, looked to be in good shape. Both lost last week. Now we're talking South Florida, maybe back in the mix. One of these teams is going to get into the playoff, and it could be James Madison from the Sun Belt. So all still to play for in the American and other group of 5 leagues.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of people paying attention to that group of 5 spot. All right, let's get to these big games in the SEC tomorrow afternoon on ABC. 11th-ranked Oklahoma on the road against number 4 Alabama. Bama, 6.5-point favorite, total 46.5. What do you like here?
Yeah, I like Bama a little bit, Brian, and it's just because, one, there's a revenge factor here. Last year, this is the game back in Norman that really knocked Alabama out of the playoff last year. And it was pretty comprehensive, 24-3. Brent Venables definitely won the chess match versus DeBoer in that game. He had Jalen Milroe all sorts of flustered in that game, and it was probably Jackson Arnold's highlight of his college career the other way, beating Alabama like that. Now, he's long gone from Oklahoma. Mateer started off with all the ballyhoo this year, but then, after the hand injury, he missed some time, and he came back, and I think he came back too soon in the Texas game. He hasn't really looked that great since, although not too bad the last game against Tennessee, but he's not putting up the numbers that we thought he was going to do. Alabama, they're going to have to run a little bit better than last week. LSU kind of sold out, stopped the run, just 56 yards on the ground. They're going to have to do better than that. But for the most part this year, they've balanced things okay. And one thing about DeBoer, he has had some banana peels he's found on the road at Alabama. He has not lost yet at Bryant-Denny Stadium. So in Tuscaloosa, they have been hard to beat. You've got revenge factor there, and I'm just not sure that Oklahoma has enough offense to go in there and win this game outright or even get within 7. 27-16 Bama. That'll be my score forecast tomorrow in Tuscaloosa.
Bruce Bryant laughed at me earlier in the week when I told him one of my favorite games ever was the New Year's Eve 1970 Astro Bluebonnet Bowl, OU and Bama 24-24 tie. He laughed at me that I liked that game.
I remember it. That's right. They're just, Oklahoma had just switched over to the wishbone late that year.
Had Greg Pruitt.
And Greg Pruitt, and then they really exploded the next year at the wishbone, and that was a Bear. That was one of the lesser Bear Bryant years, and of course the next year he was running the wishbone too. So great game, 24-24. I remember.
And the more famous one in Miami, and it might have been a lot of stuff going on with the call that was made late in the game. Joe Namath laying in the end zone, and they didn't call it a touchdown. That was against Texas, but Joe Namath was the MVP of a Orange Bowl against OU.
Yeah, he was, and he played the Orange Bowl a couple times. Yeah, and I think that was that was after his junior year, I think, and then of course he played in the senior year against Texas. But yeah, lots of this. Two blue bloods here for sure, and we'll see what happens tomorrow in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah. And that year, that was his sophomore season, and that was still two-way football, and he was having to make regular runs at free safety on defense, Brian, and then come back and play quarterback on offense, and his defensive back coach was Gene Stallings. All right, Georgia and Texas tomorrow. There have been some great Georgia-Texas games. I can see John Lastinger stumbling for the pylon at the Cotton Bowl on a frozen field. Georgia's 6.5-point favorite tomorrow between the hedges. Who do you like in that one, Georgia or the Longhorns?
I remember that Cotton Bowl, and a lot of people are forgetting, had Texas won that game, that 10-9 game, that Miami would not have been the national champion.
It cost Fred Akers.
Yeah, they would have, if Texas would have been top if after Miami beat Nebraska. So that Miami-Nebraska became the game just because Texas lost that game to Georgia earlier that day.
Fun fact, in those years when Fred Akers was coach at Texas in the 80s, his daughter, Leslie, was a student at Ole Miss.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I did not know that. Well, there you go. And so we get another Texas-Georgia tomorrow. They met twice last year. Kirby was pretty adamant this week saying, don't bring up last year. That was the 2024 team. 2025 team hasn't played Texas yet, hasn't beaten them. Totally new team. So the clean slate, Kirby's not letting Georgia rest on its laurels. But I will bring up the two games last year where Texas could not really run in either game. And it was Georgia kind of controlling action in the pits. Also, the mid-October game at Austin, Arch was playing in that game for Texas. Ewers is hurt. And Texas got behind quick, could not make up the ground. And then in the SEC title game, that's the game Carson Beck hurt his elbow. And that's the first time we really saw Gunnar Stockton at quarterback for Georgia, and he led them to a dramatic victory. I think Georgia's a little bit more this year than Texas. They've been able to balance the offense pretty much. I mean, Stockton has played better than Arch this year. Arch's numbers are improving as the season has progressed. Probably played his best game against Vanderbilt a couple weeks ago. But still, it's been a disappointment there for Texas. The offense just has not been able to consistently generate a lot of big plays. And Stockton has been able to get Georgia moving, especially when they've been behind in some of these games. They really could have beat Alabama in that game in late September. Probably should have at home. But coming back the way they had, in the Florida game, coming back the way they did against Tennessee, now they're between the hedges here. This kind of does it for Texas. Texas loses this game, they ain't going to the playoff. They've still got A&M to come as well. And I think that's exactly what happens here. 26-16 Georgia. I think the Bulldogs win this thing. And Kirby going to be sitting pretty there. I'm not sure if he'll be a top 4 team when playoff time comes, but he'll be in the mix. In Georgia, I would keep a real close eye on the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they'll be in a really good spot. Bruce, your favorite college football game and your favorite NFL game for the weekend?
Yeah, tomorrow. Well, I'll give you two real quick ones tomorrow. I mentioned Air Force. I saw them last week. They're plus 7.5 up at UConn. There's Jim Mora. A great job for UConn. That went over Duke was enthralling last week, and they're bowl bound again. Good for them. Air Force last year won its last 4. This year could do it again. That would get them bowl eligible. Liam Zarka, the quarterback, I like him a lot. That was a uplifting win last week against San Jose. Like we mentioned before, last week, I think, 4 straight games Air Force played decided by exactly 3 points. Before last week's game, they won by 10. Tough spot for UConn to have to play Air Force, at this stage of the season, preparing for that option. So there's one there. Southern Miss is the other one. Charles Huff has done a tremendous job there. The other way, G.J. Kinney is not doing a great job at Texas State. They've had 7 straight point spread losses. Braylon Braxton knocked out of the game briefly last week for Southern Miss. He's going to play tomorrow. I can't believe this number is only 3, so I'll take Southern Miss there. In the NFL, I'm going to give you the Giants here. Bite my tongue for doing that, but I really think, you see interim coaches, sometimes teams get a brief jolt. And Kafka, the offensive coordinator, is now taking over for Dable the rest of the way. He's already made a move. He's put Jameis Winston in there at quarterback because Jackson Dart is out. Winston is a better option than Russell Wilson right now. He will get the ball downfield. And frankly, I have not been impressed with Green Bay lately. Jordan Love, no touchdown passes the last 2 games. The offense did next to nothing against the Eagles and Panthers the last 2 weeks. 7.5 is too many points. I'm going to take the Giants in this one.
I like it. And Bruce, where can we find more of you?
Yeah, thanks. Check me out online with picks at the old standbys, VegasInsider.com. Also, CBS Sportsline, Sportsline.com. Got some stories up there as well you can read. And picks with a different twist up there at winnersandwhiners.com, picksandparlays.com.
Bruce, enjoy your weekend. Good luck, and we'll do it again next Friday.
Okay, thank you. Have a good weekend, boys.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce.
Bruce Marshall joining us every single Friday to talk some picks. Make sure and go and get his picks every week. And now college basketball out there. I know here in a couple weeks we'll start getting some college basketball picks from him, some NBA as well. So he does it all over there. But let's get to another break. When we return, it'll be time for our Landers Locks. Brad Bellamy from Landers Ford. He joins us next.
You have opinions?
I think it's over.
Of course you do.
I don't think it's that simple.
Everyone does.
I got all the answers.
Hit us up on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 360-8255.
Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant, objective feedback with hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation-size courts, 3 high school-size courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member at both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis, now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. Do you know what Penny Hardaway and I have in common? We should both be in that building celebrating the best basketball players of all time. Of course, I'll have to buy a ticket to get in, but he should already be there. But seriously, we both surround ourselves with the best people we can find. We work hard to achieve our goals, and we are both among the best in our respective fields. At Fiveash, we can't win titles or get national awards, but what we can and do strive to do is give 100% of ourselves to give you the best product possible and one you can be proud of. So if you need a roof, siding, or gutters, give us a call at 901-367-0050, and we will do everything we can to provide you the best of everything. Fiveash Roofing. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
You know, every year I encourage people to make Thanksgiving easier by having Central Barbecue do all the cooking.
So you're going to do something different this year?
God, no. Central Barbecue is the perfect choice to make your holidays less labor-intensive.
No effort to do something original in?
None. Why would I? You could slave over a hot stove for hours on end to make some fantasy of a meal for friends and family, or just call or go online and let Central Barbecue do all the slaving for you.
That's the holiday spirit?
It sure is. When a holiday is all about eating and then lying around watching college football, then you simply can't beat the ease and comfort of leaving it all to Central Barbecue.
And that's the pioneering spirit.
Volkswagen deal days are on during the Sign Then Drive sales event at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike. It's Sign Then Drive with 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 do-it signing now available. Plus, take your pick at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike. 2025 Jetta Sport or 2025 Taos S, $199 a month. So hurry to Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike for the Sign Then Drive sales event with 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, 0 first month payment, and 0 do-it signing Leasing now available, plus Jetta Sport or Taos S, $199 a month. So visit online at GossettVWMemphis.com or hurry to Gossett Volkswagen 1875 Covington Pike, where we're charging forward and charging less every day. If you want it, we got it at Gossett Volkswagen.
All 36-month leases, 7,500 miles, 25 cents excess mileage. Jetta SMO 85397, MSRP 25,916. Taos SMO 56598, MSRP 27,011. Must finance through Volkswagen Financial Services. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 895 excludes tactile and license with approved credit. Dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/25.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Building pretty good right now with that volume trying to get north of town. On 51, headed on up into Millington. Steady flow of traffic building out of Midtown right now. That's only going to get heavier in the next 15, 20 minutes. There on 240 South and South Parkway. 55's moving over here right now, passing Mallory. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry wants you to know they are your full-service, family-owned jewelry store right here in Memphis. Shop this holiday season local at Weimer's Jewelry out on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back in Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to get to our Landers locks. Brad Bellamy from Landers Ford, he joins us every single week at this time. Brad, how's it going? How are things over at Landers Ford?
Man, things are great, Bryant. Things are great. We got some Ford pushed up the Black Friday and end of the year incentives to this week, so we've had a lot of activity and really excited about it. We launched 0 for 60 last week. I talked to you guys about F-150. They've extended it now to Escape, Explorer, Transit, and then we got 0 for 72 on Mach-E and Lightning. So some great interest rates. You know, a lot of folks have been struggling with the interest rates of cars for the last couple of years, and so we're really excited. We haven't seen a 0% for 60 on Explorer in a long time. So got some great programs, got the inventory, got great weather to walk around in, you know, and check out the lot and check out all of our specials. So really excited. The other big thing that happened is we started our service specials early too. So $20 works rebate from Ford. So anybody that comes into our quick lane, they get a $20 rebate, and then also they add another $50 to a set of tires. So $150 rebate, and we got low price tire guarantees. So if you find a better price anywhere else, we'll beat that price. So bring it into us, and our team will back in the quick lane. We'll make sure and get you taken care of. So whether you want us to come to you or you come to us, we'll make sure you get handled at Landers Ford.
Black Friday savings all month long, and the price you see is the price you get. No games, no fine print. What you see is what you get.
That's right. How you doing, Stat?
Doing great.
Good weekend. We're going to have a good weekend. Let's get to some of these Landers locks with you, Brad. What do you like in college this week?
Well, guys, I apologize for my picks last week. We haven't had that many losing records this year, but we certainly had one last week, and it started with Friday night. I made the comment I haven't been great on Friday night. Unfortunately, I think I jinxed Memphis. But so we're staying away from the game tonight. I will tell you though, tailgating last week, my cousin, I was at his tailgate. His boss walks up and he goes, "You're from Landers? Are you Brad that does the Landers lock?" So
yes.
I was very excited that somebody was like, "Hey man, I've been taking your picks. I really like listening to you, having you on the air." And
we do
so
too.
There's one of one out there. So if you're listening this week, thank you very much.
Yeah,
it's more than one, and we don't have any apologies on this show about picks, because we know that sometimes it can be like an EKG machine, and sometimes it can make the EKG machine show out with all the ups and downs. So no apologies necessary. Your picks have been great all year, and that was heartbreaking last Friday night, but a fun scene for the Tigers. What about the Tigers at ECU tomorrow? Anything?
I'm staying away from it, but Memphis has been pretty good against the spread, especially as an underdog this year, guys. Mm-hmm. And them being an underdog, -2.5 for ECU is -2.5. Memphis being an underdog. I mean, I'm not going to include in my Landers lock, but it will probably be included in some of my plays tomorrow because I do like the Tigers on the road. I think it's a big bounce-back game and, one that they really need as a program heading into their Thanksgiving game against the Navy midshipmen coming to town. So, guys, I'm going to start with the Flying Tortillas, or at least the Flying Tortillas that have been banned. I'm going to go to Texas Tech, minus 23.5 at home against Central Florida. Texas Tech has been phenomenal as a team against the spread. Their starting quarterback's playing. The only time they haven't covered was my fault because I took them against Arizona State when they were minus a significant player. So, starting off the week, Texas Tech minus 23.5. Another game I like is involving the Big 12 as well. Cincinnati this year has been 6-3 against the spread. They're playing Arizona at home. Early start time. So Cincinnati minus 6.5. I'm going to take them as my second play this week. Another team that's been really good against the spread, and they're getting a lot of points this week, is Pittsburgh. At home, playing against Notre Dame, plus 12.5. Notre Dame's a good team. They got a lot right on this game, but historically, Pittsburgh has had some upsets in similar situations. You guys remember, a few years back when Clemson came to town on their way to right during their national championship runs, and Pittsburgh upset them as a double-digit underdog in that game. So I'm not going to say upset. I'm going to say maybe upset alert, but I'm going to take Pitt at home plus 12.5. And then I'm going to go LSU at home minus 4.5 against Arkansas.
All right.
They played with some heart last week against Alabama. Alabama ended up covering, but they covered late, and LSU was in the game most of the game. I don't necessarily know if Arkansas will be on the road in Death Valley. So I'm going to take LSU minus 4.5. They've been god-awful against the spread this year, so they're due, guys. They're due.
Yeah, and that's the interim bowl. First time I can ever remember really kind of this early. Even like Thanksgiving weekend, it's rare to have both just kind of coaching out the string, but they are tomorrow. Here's something that'll be fun to watch. If Texas Tech hosts a college football playoff game at home, because the no tortillas on the field, that's a Big 12 rule. If they play at home, it's going to be an ocean of tortillas on the field.
I didn't think about that.
I didn't either. That'll be, man, you talk about somebody getting some NIL deal off the tortillas, too.
No kidding.
Brad, and you know people will monetize and market to that. They'll get Mr. Big to step up and do that.
Well, especially, things like that, too, guys. When those bans happen, all of a sudden it becomes a bigger deal. I bet half the country didn't know anything about the tortillas getting thrown until it got banned. And now all of a sudden people are all talking about it.
Yeah. And just natural human reaction. If you tell me to run, I'm going to crawl. You tell me don't throw the tortilla out there, I'm going to the ballpark and throwing a tortilla out there when I can.
Well, it's like going to Red Wings games and having an octopus slimying up your leg so you can throw it out there in the middle of the playoffs. It's a joke.
Have you ever done it?
I have not, but my brother-in-law has.
That's beautiful.
Probably 30 years. But yeah.
Speaking of hockey, Brian, did I see where somebody lost last night 7-0 in hockey?
I think you did. There were some high-scoring games last night. We already have one final today, Brett. Your Nashville Predators played earlier today, somewhere in a different country. But yeah, I think you did.
7-0 is like 85-0 in the NFL, isn't it?
There was a 6-3. I don't see there were multiple. There was 7-0. Stars over Canadians last night. 7-0. That's right. I thought there was. Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, that's a blowout. What's your favorite NFL plays? Are you going to go player props or teams?
Yeah, we're going back to player props. So a few years ago, prior to Dalton Kincaid showing up, Josh Allen had a favorite target, especially for first touchdown bet. Had a few at the beginning of the year, had one of the playoffs. You know him well, Brett. Went to Ole Miss.
Dawson Knox.
Knox doesn't have Dalton Kincaid in front of him this week. Kincaid's out. He's hurt. Josh Allen has had a lot of connections over the years with Dawson Knox. With Kincaid now being on the shelf for the week, I think Dawson Knox is a great play. He's plus 360 right now, which I think is a lot of value for a tight end in their system. Had a lot of tight end touchdowns, especially over the last few weeks. So I'm going Dawson Knox as a play. Also, another thing, guys, just from a prop standpoint, I would look at him and his yards. I think he's got a great opportunity to probably get 3 catches, 25 yards, and probably going to pay for you. So Dawson Knox plus 360. You're going to have a lot of throwing the ball in that game, Buffalo versus Tampa Bay. So that's number one. Guy that scored last week, benefited for some injuries. Parker Washington with the Jaguars looked really great against a really tough Texans defense. And I'm going to pick him. He's getting plus 230 right now. They're playing against San Diego. The Chargers defense is pretty good, but I like the value with him. And then I'm going to go back to a pick I've had several times this year over the last few weeks. R.J. Harvey, plus 130 against Kansas City. Kansas City, another good play could be a little running back parlay. Little Kareem Hunt, R.J. Harvey, dual threat, pay you a little bit of money. But those are my 3 locks: Dawson Knox, Parker Washington, and R.J. Harvey. So we're going to get back on the winning streak this week, guys. We're gonna make some money. We're going to make some money. We're going to take care of some folks listening at home, and we're going to have some wins with these Landers locks.
Yes, we are.
Brad, I love these picks almost as much as I love on the new 2025 F-150s. And let me get this right, because I've been saying it all week. I hope I've been right. $11,850 off MSRP. That is real money for anybody. Almost $12,000 is what I've been saying.
That's right. That's right. So you can take that, you can get 3.9 for 72, or you can save off a little bit of that discount and lose the rebate, but you get 0 for 66 if you do a flex buy. So you got 2 options. Both of them are great. Just really depends on what your credit situation is and what works best for you as a consumer. But we got some great deals, and that's an XLT truck too. So it's a mid-range truck with great technology. And man, we're here to take care of folks, and I appreciate everything you guys do to continue to endorse us and talk us up at this 4:00 hour.
Yeah,
we love it, Brad, and we know this weekend if somebody wants to get in a vehicle, they can, and if it doesn't say Landers,
you paid too much.
I know that's
it's
right.
that simple.
It is that simple. Brad, as always, love having you on. Enjoy this weekend. We'll do it again next Friday.
Love being with you guys. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
Brad Bellamy joining us every Friday.
$12,000.
That's a lot of money, Brett. Like you said, that's real money for everybody.
Now, I'm not one of those that can say my first house didn't cost $12,000. I can't do that, but $12,000 is a lot of money.
That's real money, and you can have that happen out at Landers Ford. So yeah, with all those deals he was talking about, with the Black Friday coming early and everything they got going, man, that's perfect time to head out there.
Dawson Knox already in his career, 94 NFL games, 24 touchdowns, and they're not throwing it to him all the time.
No.
I mean, but he still gets his share.
That's right.
On a tight end heavy team.
I was gonna say,
That's a good pick by Brad.
They've got a couple that they like to rotate in there. So yeah, I like that pick a lot. Parker Washington, I've been a Parker Washington fan for a couple years now. I really like that one. And then R.J. Harvey, he's gonna have a lot of opportunity. I think they got some injuries in the backfield in Denver. So yeah, I like these picks a lot. In his college picks, I like them a lot as well. Right, we have a college football game going on as we speak right now. Live football being played. Now, it is FCS football, but nonetheless, live football, South Carolina State and NC Central on ESPN2 right now. How about that?
Was it yesterday or this morning that we had a 10 o'clock college basketball game?
Yesterday and today. Both days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I bet on both of them. And I bet on this game. There's action in the middle of the game day.
Any green check marks?
Oh, absolutely, Brett.
Good.
I think,
well, we want winners.
That's right. I think 1-1 yesterday on the basketball game, 1-0 this morning, and we'll see how this football game plays out. So.
We got to get the Mike Singletary bite. We want winners for crunch time.
We're going to work on that. We will add that in there. But right now we need to get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With over 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
The weekend is almost here, and the Hustle Hoedown is on at the Landers Center when the Memphis Hustle hosts the Austin Spurs in NBA G League action. Be there for the country-themed night Saturday at 7 p.m. Grab your tickets today at memphishustle.com.
Approximately 40 minutes.
Taxes was feeling unwelcome. Now Taxes is an open door, literally, to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts in person.
Hi, welcome in.
They're powered by smart tech and ready to do your taxes for you. Get real-time updates while you go about your day. Confident your taxes are done right. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. NYC opening soon. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event on now at Gossett Kia on the Pike. 2025 Kia K4 LXS. We Gossett $145 a month, $39.95 due at signing. How about 2025 Kia Sorento LX? We Gossett $172 a month, $49.95 due at signing. And 2026 Kia K5 LXS. We Gossett $192 a month, $39.95 due at signing, all 24-month lease. Plus, they're all equipped with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You just ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today. Hurry to Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 20,000 per year, 25 cents excess mileage, 650 acquisition fee, K4 SE 182, 921, MSRP 24,850, Sorento SG 405, 858, MSRP 34,275, K5 TS 421, 572, MSRP 29,540. Includes all rebates and incentives, PF 895, must finance through KFA, excludes tax title and license with approved credit, dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2025.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Dacus.
And she says, I wish that
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
All right, Brett, well, before we get to big number today, we've got some Tiger basketball tickets that we need to give away. We mentioned that earlier today, but Josh Pastner in town with his UNLV running Rebels, and they'll see the Memphis Tigers, the second home game for this 1-1 Tigers team. We're going to talk to Jason Munns in our next segment, but let's go ahead and give some tickets away. We've got a 4-pack of tickets and a parking pass to Sunday's game against UNLV. So if you want to go to that game, let's do second caller to the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line, 901-360-8255. You call the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line, 901-360-8255. You're the second caller. You'll get 4 tickets and a parking pass to Sunday's game against UNLV. So call in, and Landon will get you taken care of. All right, well, for my big number of the day, I'm going to go with the number 14. That is the jersey number of one Zach Edey. And Grizzlies PR just put out about an hour ago the status report for tomorrow's game against the Cavaliers. And look who has been upgraded from doubtful to questionable, Zach Edey. And we know those questionables, a lot of times, not every time. We saw John Morant last week or earlier this week listed as questionable and then did not play that night. But usually questionable means that there's a pretty good chance that they will play. So Zach Edey listed as questionable. Now, while that is good news for Zach Edey, love to get him back, Cedric Coward listed as doubtful for tomorrow's game against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
What about Ja?
Ja's not on the status report, so he is good to go tomorrow.
So the ankle's fine.
Yeah, the ankle looks to be good, which is good news.
Well, they need Zach Edey. They need a lot.
They need everybody, that's for sure.
It's going to be tough again tomorrow night. My big number is 31. That's the combined passing touchdowns for C.J. Carr and Mason Heinschel, the Notre Dame and Pitt freshmen, and they meet tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Two Frosh lighting it up this year, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning with game day in Pittsburgh for this game. In the summertime run-up, nobody was talking about either one of these guys, especially Heinschel, and very few even the presumptive quarterback at Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah, not at all. And so the job that both these guys done, especially on the Pittsburgh side, really, really impressive. And they'll both be center stage tomorrow, game day in town, and obviously that game being a top 25 matchup, we'll have a lot of eyes on it. And I kind of like what Brad's saying. I've kind of brought it up to everybody this week and today with picks, but it seems like a lot of points on the road against a Pitt team that's really rolling right now.
A lot of Gator fans already in Oxford. They were out. The traffic, if you're headed to Oxford, this is a leave now for tomorrow type traffic. It's getting close to LSU type. It's not the number of fans for Florida in town like LSU. It's a lot of Ole Miss people, last game of the year, et cetera. But there are a lot of Gator fans here, and I never, ever, ever want to judge entire fan base by the couple you encounter, during the day and stuff like that. And that's a good thing, because at lunch, as a friend of mine said, as mouthy as they are, I hope they brought some bail money.
Wow, really?
I mean, aggressive at lunch and around town earlier day. Again, everybody doesn't act like that. I know that, but I know there are a lot of Gator fans in town, and they think they've got Lane. They do.
Well, Brett, you're not the first person that has said something about the Florida fans. I don't know who else I've heard it from. I've seen it on social media, but I've heard that Florida fans, they're not, nobody's calling them the best fans in football.
I mean, after, Washington State, they were so nice, and South Carolina was so nice, and today, every one of them just wanting to do that chop right in your face.
Interesting. I don't know if this is the year to be chopping in everybody's face. I guess, in Oxford, if you think you got their head coach wrapped up, but haven't been very good on the field. So I don't know if this is the year.
Sure hadn't been.
Now maybe if the Gators were in town to play basketball, maybe, defending national champs, and maybe, but
they could be humming one shiny moment.
I guess so.
This football team is humming, losing at the Swamp.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's interesting, but I guess that'll make for an interesting experience tomorrow, and we'll see how that game plays out. But
last Florida appearance in Oxford, played them 2020. Lane's first game, scored a lot of points, couldn't match them, and they won big. Dan Mullen had it going really well. Then they went to the SEC championship game that year. Before that, though, for just a regular season game, it's probably been a while.
Yeah. Believe it probably would. So that'll be a fun one tomorrow, along with a lot of other really fun SEC.
I probably should know that.
That's okay. Yeah, you can look it up. It's fine.
I'll know it before.
I was about to say, you got plenty of time until you're on air. But before we get to a break, let me remind you about the commissary. When you're in Memphis, you think of barbecue. You can get that world famous Memphis style barbecue any night at the commissary. With locations in Germantown and Collierville, stop in for lunch or dinner or get it to go. Start your meal with an appetizer like the cheese plate, chicken wings, or my favorite, the barbecue nachos. For more than 40 years, the commissary has been a staple in this area, and a major reason is because of the quality of food they serve. My go-to, it's got to be the ribs, but it's hard to resist that barbecue shoulder. Get it chopped or pulled, and get it by the plate or by the pound. Comes in handy with the sandwich packs. Feed the whole group with a 6-pack, an 8-pack, even a 12-pack. And don't forget about the dessert, like the delicious banana pudding, brownie, or the lemon icebox pie. Check out the entire menu and catering options at commissarybbq.com. Whether it's a watch party for your favorite team or maybe you're out tailgating, let the commissary cater your next event. Give them a call at 901-754-5540 and make any event perfect. Stop in today at either location in Germantown, open until 8 p.m., and in Collierville, open until 9 p.m. And don't forget, with the holidays right around the corner, let the commissary help out with the holiday season. Give the Germantown location a call, 901-754-5540. The Collierville location a call, 901-979-5540, and order those turkeys or hams. The whole turkeys and hams priced at $79.95, and you can get the small portion or the large. The small feeds 8 to 10, the large 18 to 20, and don't forget about those sides like the gravy, the dressing, or the sweet potato casserole. You can even get that honey smoked spiral ham, 8 to 10 pounds for just $89.95. So make sure you call the commissary and get on the list before the holidays are here.
Florida 2000 non-COVID was 2007, the year Tim Tebow won the Heisman Trophy.
Oh wow! How about that? So yeah, that's it's been a while. It has been a really
COVID. We didn't have 200 fans. In the stands.
Yeah, it's very different.
It was very sad.
Yeah, that COVID year was. I'd like it if we all just kind of forgot about that. Just the COVID year.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, not even just football, just the COVID year.
Dumbest era in American history, maybe recorded history.
Well, it really was. But let's go ahead and wrap up this hour. Get to a break. When we return, we're talking Tiger basketball. Jason Munn from the Commercial Appeal. He joins us next.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar base. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to base or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef, and she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
Are you ready for what's next, Mid-South? We got it going on at Gossett Mitsubishi's new location, 1956 Covington Pike. So get out here and take your pick. 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, standard third row, or 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Your choice, only $399 a month. How about 2025 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, super all-wheel control for dynamic performance? We got it, $413 a month, or buy it for $30,245. Plus 0% for 60 months available. And peace of mind with our 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1956 Covington Pike, and 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
PHEV SE 00816 MSRP 42615 Sport SUO 112 859 MSRP 29050 Eclipse SEO 39001 MSRP 32745 PF 895 595 acquisition fee includes all rebates and incentives 895 PF excludes tax item license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Hi, it's the Herd. Around the holidays, it's hard to find the right gifts, but you know what's even harder? Getting the right gift. Hey, it's not selfish at all. Everybody wants what they want. And guess what? Verizon's got the perfect solve for both. They have incredible bundles for you and your family. You can get the latest phone with a new line on Verizon's My Plan and a brand new smartwatch and tablet. No trade-in needed. You can get it even on their lowest price plan. That's 3 amazing gifts they are offering. You can give a couple away, gift yourself one, or give one away and gift yourself a couple of them. You can even give them all to yourself. No one has to know. You get to decide who gets what. You're basically Santa, and you don't even have to fly all over the world in one night. Just go to your local Verizon store, get yourself a bundle, a phone, a tablet, and a smartwatch. It's a holiday miracle that you don't want to miss out on.
Don't pay too much for your next vehicle. Upgrade with Black Friday savings all month long at Landers Ford in Collierville, the #1 Ford dealer in Greater Memphis. New Ford F-150s, $11,850 off MSRP. You heard that right. New Ford F-150, $11,850 off MSRP. Plus low APR financing available. Looking for more? We're paying top dollar for your trade. Bring it to Landers Ford and find out how much yours is worth. Or get started online now with the Landers Easy Pass at LandersFordMemphis.com. The Black Friday savings are big. The best part, the price you see is the price you pay. No hidden addendums. That's the Landers Ford difference. Don't wait. The best new F-150s will sell fast. Landers Ford in Collierville. Remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
As reported on Ford's 2024 total new vehicle retail sales report. Memphis market. APR with approved credit. Example, 2025 Ford F-150 XLT. VIN number 1 FTEW 3KP 9SKD 33353. MSRP 58,090. Ford retail bonus cash 4250. Landers savings 5600. Ford package discount 2000. Sale price 46,240. Price tax, title, license, and 695 processing fee. See dealer for complete details. Offer ends 12/125.
The wrap-up the year sales event is going strong at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the Pike. So come get in on it. Right now it's time to take your pick from 2026 Jeep Wrangler Sport S or 2026 Jeep Compass Limited Altitude. It's your choice, just $289 a month. That's Jeep Wrangler Sport S or Jeep Compass Limited Altitude. Your choice, $289 a month. And if you're looking for an off-road beast, we Gossett in 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn. Now just $389 a month. That's right, Ram Tough Truck buyers. 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn, $389 a month. Plus 0% for 72 months available. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat online. GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Wrangler TW182534, Compass TT16309, Ram SN204539, includes all rebates and incentives. PF895 excludes tax, file, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2025 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
This traffic report is brought to you by Millington Weight Loss. For more information, call 901-436-0272.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon, T-Dot. Still trying to untangle a couple of wrecks as it gets heavier out here through Midtown, especially I-40 over here at Chelsea. Trying to get south of Memphis has been decent so far. Down through there, just heavy at times. Here the last few minutes, 55 southbound as expected, coming past State Line Road. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry is your full-service family-owned jewelry store this holiday season. Make sure you shop local because you'll save a ton of money at Weimer's Jewelry out on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our third and final hour on this Friday afternoon. We got to talk Tiger basketball, and joining us to do that, Jason Munz, Tiger basketball beat writer over at the Commercial Appeal. He joins us every Friday, and it's brought to you every single week by Jim's Place in Collierville. Jason, thanks so much for joining us. I guess since the last time we talked to you, the Tigers have played the first two games of the season, 1-1, a win over San Francisco last Saturday, and then a loss earlier this week on the road against Ole Miss. What have you made out of these the first two games of the season for the Tigers?
So we actually, this was like probably the biggest topic of conversation between Jonah Dillon and myself on our podcast, which we recorded yesterday, I think. And it's like, the thing that, to me, is so interesting about the first week of the season, the first two games of the regular season, is that you really can make of it what you want. Like you can look at it and be like, you can look at the first two games and be like, well, all right, wait, kind of, I'm still waiting, or I don't like. There's too much that I don't like. Like, I still think they're a ways away. Or, you, like me, this is where I stand, and this is the honest to goodness truth. Like, I think that especially relative to what we saw in the preseason, that there is Memphis has way more there than I thought it did.
I am with you.
Yeah, like I mean, we all knew Doug McDaniel was probably going to be pretty good. We
Sincere Parker.
Sincere Parker. Still don't necessarily know if Doug McDaniel has what it takes yet to lead a team to be a galvanizer. To be
Kendrick level. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. To be Kendrick level, Tyrese Hunter level, that sort of thing. Like to be the true blue quarterback who, leads the charge and takes them to where they want to go. Don't know yet if that's still don't know yet if that's what he can be. But like Sincere Parker has shown some really good things. Now, I will say it's still early, very small sample size. We still haven't seen exactly yet from him the things that I was hearing in the off season that he is capable of, where he can get like stupid hot and just carry a team completely. And put up 25 points in 15 minutes or something like that. Like he's got that kind of ability. He's shown it before. We haven't seen that yet. But I think, again, I think I was more encouraged after the Ole Miss game than I was after the San Francisco game.
Yeah.
Strangely enough. It was a loss, but listen, it was the second game of the season in a very hostile environment, and they got practically nothing from Aaron Bradshaw. They got nothing from Tariq Ingram, didn't play. Hassan Abdul-Hakim didn't play. They only got 5 points from Quante Berry, who was their leading scorer in the first game. They didn't get 9 rebounds from Julius Thetford, who led them in rebounding against San Francisco. And yet they were like, I think genuinely, if Aaron Bradshaw had made those 2 free throws with a minute and a half left, that would have cut it to 2 points.
Yes.
I think the momentum swings at that point, like decidedly toward Memphis, and they win that game. So
I do too. I said it. I thought the Tigers were about to steal it at the buzzer.
Right. I mean, and you hate to say that, you hate to put it on 2 missed free throws for a whole game, because that definitely wasn't the only issue. That definitely wasn't the only
situation.
Right. I mean, they also gave up 8 3-pointers on 13 attempts, which wasn't great. And, they didn't really make any adjustments on Comardine, the big French guard that Ole Miss has, who scored 26 points. They couldn't really figure him out. They couldn't really defend without fouling. They sent Ole Miss Ole Miss had 33 free throw attempts. So, there were some issues, but like Curtis Givens the third, 20 points, career high. Ashton Hardaway, 16 points, not a career high, but I would say it's his best game in a college uniform. And I mean, like, because again, like all we've seen from him so far before the Ole Miss game was catch and shoot, and even that was shaky up to this point. But like, he made only 1 3-pointer in that game against Ole Miss. The rest of his scoring came either at the free throw line or from just attacking the basket, and that is not something we have seen from him. So what I'm trying to say is, like, if Memphis has 6 or more, like so far in 2 games, we've seen 6 guys who can legitimately give you 15 to 20 points on any given night. And yeah, there's a lot to work with there, I think.
And Jason, I think Bryant and I voiced just like you, and I always kind of like to parallel you, and I didn't know you were going to say all this, but I like to attach myself to your comments that you're making, because you're watching the team and you know it about as well as any non-staffer in the city. And all of that before halftime really hurt the Tigers.
Yes.
They squandered a great first half in the last minute and a half.
They did. They had cut it to 3. Now they led, I think, 15-14, I think was the last time they led in the whole game. So, it was a nice, tight back-and-forth game there for about the first 10 minutes of the game. Then it kind of started to drift toward Ole Miss. Memphis cuts it to 3, and then in the last, I think it was 40 seconds, they gave up a 6-0 run going into the locker room. So they're down 9. They're kind of on their heels. That did not help. What also didn't help was I mean, this is another name that we haven't even mentioned yet. It's a guy who spent 3 years in the SEC and started a lot of games for South Carolina, Zach Davis. Like, he hasn't yet emerged. Like, he's capable of giving you more than what he's given so far. And this goes back to my original point. Like, they've got weapons. Mm-hmm. They just do. But in this game against Ole Miss, Zach Davis had some issues there late in the game. I think it was like in the last 3 or 4 minutes. There was an 84-second span where he committed 3 personal fouls by himself. Wow. And one of them was about 40 feet from the basket, and the other 2 were about 90 feet from the basket. It was just like there were some critical stretches that kept Memphis from fully grabbing that momentum and stealing one from Ole Miss in a very, and again, this is a very hostile environment. The other thing is, Simon Majok, like, we've now seen him twice, and he's not blowing the doors off the joint, but like, he's also showing some level of like penny trust. He's gaining increasing trust in Simon Majok, and that's very, very important, because right now you're not getting much from Aaron Bradshaw. You're not getting hardly anything from Tariq Ingram. So, yeah, if they can just get Zach Davis going, if they can get Aaron Bradshaw going, if they can get Hassan Abdul-Hakim healthy, they got a lot of really, really intriguing parts that could make for a really dynamic roster. But this is what I wrote about after the Ole Miss game. Like, that's all well and good, but like, time is of the essence. Like, Memphis has to make its hay now. Like, it's like that was one of about a handful of opportunities that are going to come in the next month, and they missed it. So that's sort of the catch-22 here with the Tigers.
Yeah, you talk about those bigs. I mean, in that game against Ole Miss, and even going back to San Francisco, I mean, Aaron Bradshaw barely played last Saturday against San Francisco because he picked up 2 quick fouls to start the game. Against Ole Miss, he finishes with just 1 point, 1 rebound. Thierno Silla, he only plays 18 minutes and fouls out. You've got Simon Majok, like, a lot there, I think, potential-wise, but I just think he's still very raw. You talked about Tariq Ingram. Tell us a little bit more about what you're seeing with the front court. And really with Ingram, it sounds like everyone is saying that just got here and just was not ready to play, was not in the right game shape. How kind of far do you think we are from him being in game shape?
I mean, that's going to be one of the top questions, depending on what we see Sunday. I think against UNLV, I think that's going to be one of the more important questions that we ask Penny. Like, if he doesn't play, it's going to come time to ask, well, when is he going to be ready to play? When is he going to be able to give you something? Like, right now, in 2 games, he's played 40 seconds. Yeah. 40 seconds. And in those 40 seconds against San Francisco, he committed 2 fouls and a turnover. So, like, he needs something good. They need something good to happen from like, out of him. I'm glad you brought up Tierno Silla. Like, I think, like, he's another one who is not. He's certainly not flashy, and his numbers do not jump off the page. But I like what they don't need that from him necessarily. Like, they just need somebody down low to give them some sort of presence on a consistent basis. And you mentioned, yes, he fouled out in one of those games, and it's not flashy, but I do like what he's giving them, especially considering the fact that because there's so many other weapons, they don't necessarily need him to be a dominant force. Now, here's the interesting thing about Aaron Bradshaw. Like, yes, you look at the numbers, they're not great. You look at the fact that he fouled out in just 8 minutes against San Francisco, not great. But counterpoint, like devil's advocate, maybe glass half full argument, he scored 7 points in those 8 minutes against San Francisco.
Sure. Yeah.
Imagine if he played 20 minutes, like he was on pace for a really nice game, So it's like I think it just kind of depends on how you look at it. I mean, I think the right answer there is to look at it for how it is. And you look through 2 games, he has scored 1 more point than he has personal fouls. That's got to change. And I don't think he has. I think he's probably got half as many rebounds as he has personal fouls. So he's got to. I do think there's something there. They just got to make sure he doesn't get like too down on himself, because I feel like that would be easy, especially given how his career has gone so far. They just got to keep, as Penny said after the Ole Miss game, they got to keep loving on him and keep boosting him up, and hope. Yeah, exactly, and hope that at some point it clicks.
And I got to give Chris Beard credit for when he scheduled that game, and he's a veteran coach. He got that game on a Tuesday night when he knew he could have his students there, not around Thanksgiving, not around Christmas, not on a Saturday afternoon. We're really just kind of, a lot of times those Saturday and December games, you're depending on just kind of local Oxford retirees and 45 and up crowd. He got his students in there. I don't think the Tigers, except for when they play at Louisville, and even at State may not have the students around because of that date as much as Ole Miss did. Louisville will, and that'll be about it for tougher environments to play in this year. And the Hump could be.
Yeah, it could be, but I think you're right. So I think that game is December 20th or right around that time.
Yeah, that could be disaffected by then.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with that. And so, yeah.
And that's not a shot at anybody. It's just the timing. If you'd have played State on Tuesday night, they would have had that crowd in Oxford, and you play in the Ole Miss game when the State game scheduled, and it could have got a little sleepier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. But so, it was like, yes, to your point, very smart on Chris Beard's part to do that, because it was like, that was a really, really good atmosphere, and the students were a big part of it, and they were into it. Like the whole game, they were beginning to end. The students were into it, and it was a very. It was. I mean, I think that, the flip side of that, the other part of that from the Memphis angle is like, I think that's a good thing. Like, that is a good thing to have to face something like that early, and to face something that was as pretty rowdy as the Ole Miss crowd was. Like, I think that's only going to help Memphis as it gets, deeper into the schedule. I mean, I'm trying to think, they got UNLV this Sunday, and then next week they're in the Bahamas with Purdue and whoever they play on the second day, and then it gets a little bit tired with some bye games, and then they got Baylor coming in. So yeah, like, I think the Ole Miss game outside of it's going to be, I think it's going to be Louisville and Ole Miss. Those are going to be the top two road atmospheres that Memphis is going to see.
Yeah. Do you know from the Memphis staff, did they know of, did they recruit ever in the ballpark for Elias Kamerdine?
No, I don't think so. Memphis didn't really tap into the international market until pretty late in the process. When it was around the time that Dane Danger got his waiver request denied, and that's when they went and got Simon Majok. So they were pretty much full by the time they ever turned their attention toward the international market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jason, before we let you go, what do you expect Sunday against UNLV and Josh Pastner back in town?
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be cool. Just to, just once again, a former coach, only 3 weeks.
I've cracked on him pretty hard, Jason. I said if he really believes that Packers-Yankee stuff, then if it was Packers, he was either Phil Bankston or Lindy Infante, and if it was the Yankees, he was either Gene Michael or Clyde King.
Yeah, well, I think I think what he was trying to say there was just in terms of like what the Tigers mean to the city and the surrounding area. I think that's kind of what he was saying, is that the Tigers are the Packers of the Mid-South. Mm-hmm. I guess. I mean,
Josh has full artistic license, doesn't he? He can hyperbolize with some of the best.
He definitely can.
Yeah, no doubt. But So UNLV's off to a rough start. They're 1-2. They lost bye games to UT Martin. And
Larry Johnson ain't walking through the door.
UT Martin and Montana. And honestly, they've dealt with some pretty significant injuries. He told me, I was talking to Josh yesterday, he told me that in their first exhibition game, they had 6 scholarship players available.
Ooh.
6.
Well, that's impossible.
They just got Isaac Williamson back, a guard, and he scored 11 points in the loss to Montana, but Josh told me he only had like 2 days of practice, like to ramp up. And then he's also got 2 other starters who have not yet played this season.
He's got a 7-footer from Arizona that is like out for another month and a half, I think.
I just can't see Josh turning on Sin City. I mean, he's the antithesis of Sin City.
That's right.
I know. That's it is quite the dichotomy there. But so like that being said, they are scoring a ton of points. Mm-hmm. Of course, they are playing UT Martin and Montana and Chattanooga, but I should say defending NIT champs Chattanooga Mocs. But yeah, they're scoring a ton of points. They do still have Nas Cunningham, who was a big. That name should ring a bell. He was like a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. Memphis wanted him. Memphis was in on him. He took a visit to Memphis. He's now playing for UNLV. They've got Dre Gibbs Lawhorn, who I believe played at Illinois.
Yeah.
I believe he's an Illinois transfer. He's leading them in scoring with 19 points a game. So they've got some pieces. They just don't have all of them, and that is a problem. And the other problem is that while they are scoring a bunch of points, they're also allowing a ton of points to the likes of Montana and UT Martin. So I expect a high-scoring game on Sunday. Like the Tigers have put up, 76 against San Francisco and 77 against Ole Miss. I expect that number to jump up back at FedEx Forum against the UNLV team that's struggling right now with injuries and defense.
Yeah, well, it's going to be fun to watch Sunday afternoon. Jason, always fun having you on with us. Enjoy your weekend. We'll do it again next Friday.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you, Jason Munch, talking Tiger basketball with us every Friday now through the Final Four. It's presented by Jim's Place Grill right now. What a fun night you can have going out there right now and enjoying the bar area, getting seated for dinner. Over 100 years of charcoal grill steaks, over 100 years of celebration, family time, and lasting memories. They bring you Jason Munns every Friday from the Commercial Appeal on the Tigers basketball beat. If you're looking for the perfect place for that holiday or family get-together, book it now online at jimsplacegrill.com. Don't forget the E in grill. Every steak grilled perfectly over an open flame. Come to Jim's and taste and see and feel the difference. Recipes that date back to downtown to now in Collierville at the railroad tracks at Poplar and Houston Levee. Since 1921, a staple, a Memphis landmark, hard work, values, and a dedication to their beloved diners. The Terrace family, they've created that memorable dining experience. All the staples at lunchtime like the souffle ma, the shrimp cocktail, the crab cakes, the salad dressings, all homemade. Try the cheeseburger at lunchtime. Try it at dinner time. And at dinner time, the calamari, soup, seafood, and the steaks that made Jim's famous. Fillets, ribeyes, and strips. The great bar area, all at Jim's Place Grill in Collierville.
And we'll do a Tiger Bankroll off air. The line hadn't come out yet for UNLV, so we'll do that off air, and we'll definitely update you on Monday how that all falls out with that Sunday game. But we're about to have to get to a break. Before we do that, let me remind you again about our 5 o'clock sponsor, Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. They've been the premier Jaguar dealership for the greater Memphis area since 1984. And head out this weekend and check out those 2025 models like the Range Rover Sport, the Range Rover Velar, and the Defender. Test drive that Range Rover Sport, where luxury meets performance. It's a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility with options ranging from 360 horsepower up to 635. It's also available as a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with $7,500 federal tax credit when approved with approved credit. And they got plenty of other options out there like the other 2025 models that I just mentioned. So head out there this weekend. You can call them 877-259-6169. You can go online to JaguarBluffCity.com. But head out there, test drive these vehicles. 6335 Wheel Cove, just off of Quince for Bluff City Jaguar. Well, let's get to another break, and when we return, it's time for us to pick some college football games. It'll be time for our First National Bank and Trust Friday Football Forecast.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Maria's Cantina in South Haven is not your average Tex-Mex joint because they're serving up Mexican with a twist. Maria's Scratch Kitchen is the most creative and diverse menu around. Beyond the traditional huge quesadillas, chimichangas, and fajitas, Maria serves up hand-rolled Latin egg rolls, Cajun and Creole items like catfish, gumbo, and boudin balls, as well as the best sandwiches and 8-ounce burgers in town. Wash it all down with a house margarita for only $5.50 and happy hour every day till 6. MariasCantina.com, 6717 Airways, Mexican with a twist.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is the place to bet on NBA stars this season. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code HERD. That's promo code HERD. Bet $5 and get 3 months of League Pass plus $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. NBA League Pass auto renews until canceled. Additional terms at dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Billions. At NST Law, we're talking billions and billions.
Corey, call on line 3.
We're talking billions. At NST Law, we've won billions of dollars for our injured clients. And there's billions more out there, a whole galaxy of cases to win. NST's the way to go.
MSD is the way to go. Call 683-7000.
Corey.
Hey everybody, it's time to gobble up the savings. All-Star Chevy right here in Olive Branch is thankful for all of our customers. Red tags for 0 interest financing are now on every new Silverado and Equinox. And look, your good credit deserves it. All new Chevy Colorados and Equinoxes in stock are now just $100 over invoice. So it's time to gobble up the savings and be in what you really want to drive this Thanksgiving. If you're law enforcement, military, first responder, you get a extra $500 bonus. And Olive Branch is where all the new Chevys are. And it's the only place you can find all the barely driven certified pre-owned Chevys you want. Every pre-owned you could ever want. It's right here in Olive Branch. And if you got any vehicle you want to sell, bring it here to All-Star Chevy and get the most money for it today. So don't miss the Gobble Up the Savings sale going on right now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to the Burr months, and that means even more savings at Family Leisure. Why is this time of the year the best time of the year to shop at Family Leisure? Because Family Leisure has new stuff coming, so they need to make room. Need a cover for your hot tub? How convenient. Family Leisure has them starting at just $249. Need new spa steps or a cover lift? Family Leisure has those as well, starting at just $99. Let's say you don't have a hot tub or you want a new one. Pick yours right now, starting at $24.99. Get your laps in with a swim spa, and prices start at under $15,000. In-stock patio furniture, that's up to 50% off. Plus, if you need special financing, Family Leisure's got you covered. One final thing. Tell the folks at Family Leisure you heard this radio commercial. You get a free gift with a hot tub purchase. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event on now at Gossett Kia on the Pike. 2025 Kia K4 LXS. We Gossett $145 a month, $39.95 due at signing. How about 2025 Kia Sorento LX? We Gossett $172 a month, $49.95 due at signing. And 2026 Kia K5 LXS. We Gossett $192 a month, $39.95 due at signing, all 24-month lease. Plus, they're all equipped with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You just ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today. Hurry to Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett. motor cars.
All 20,000 per year, 25 cents excess mileage, 650 acquisition fee, K4, SC 182, 921, MSRP 24,850. Sorrento, SG 405, 858, MSRP 34,275, K5, TS 421, 572, MSRP 29,540. Includes all rebates and incentives, PF 895, must finance through KFA, excludes tax title and license with approved credit, dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2025.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Here comes the hero man.
Friday football forecast from First National Bank and Trust, a division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas. Real estate isn't something you purchase or develop or desire. It's something you appreciate, respect, and know. With real estate, there's no gray area. You either know it or you don't. First National Bank and Trust, a proud division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas. They've known it since their beginning in 1886. Clients depend on First National Bank because they know real estate. Brooks Winchester, Bill Samish, and many more can assist you in your acquisition of that hunting land, farmland, a construction project. Let First National Bank and Trust make your dreams a reality. 775 Ridge Lake Boulevard, Suite 140 in Memphis, 901-498-5763, or the office in Collierville, or online at fnbtmemphis.com. For commercial real estate, residential construction, or recreational and agriculture financing, let First National Bank and Trust help you. They're a division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas, where I have had an account, been a friend, and been a customer my entire life.
Well, a little bit of trickeration for y'all. First game of the day, 1 o'clock, Dateline, Arkadelphia, Arkansas.
Whoa.
Clark County, the big battle. Yeah, the big battle of the ravine. The 98th one. I thought it was the 100th, so we'll pick it this year, hopefully next year, and for number 100, we'll pick Ouachita and Henderson State. These two teams throw the record books out. They don't like each other. Tomorrow it is at OBU, but the visiting team, wherever it is, they're across the street from each other. They dress and walk over to the other team. They don't even want to be on the other one's campus. We're going to call it a pick'em because I don't know to make a point spread on OBU and Henderson State, but we love every Friday doing First National Bank and Trust Friday football forecast. Stable, secure, solid, reliable, and consistent. That's what they've been through all these years, hundreds of years collectively of lending experience. And just like the Battle of the Ravine, they go way, way back. So I'm going to, no, Brian, you start. You start with the picks. You start.
I will be glad to start with these picks. I have a great love for both of these institutions. I was able to learn about them either in middle school or early on in high school, and have been following both these programs ever since. So I was super excited when it came across that maybe they would go there for college game day. Didn't get that, but even better, we're picking it. So it makes me happy.
Even better.
But I decided,
it's way better.
I decided on that day when I found out about these two sides that you got to pick one side. You can't be a fan of both. You got to pick a side. I picked the Reddies, so I ride with Henderson State this weekend.
Very good. Landon.
I have been, ever since we announced this, what was it, a couple days ago at this point, I've been diving in deep to this rivalry, and man, this rivalry goes back, and it's also a very evenly matched rivalry all the way through. I've been very impressed with how these games shape out. If we were to pick a line, if we were working for Vegas, 3.5 would have been perfect, because most, if not all of these games have been decided by a field goal or less, but this has been very tight, but I hate to do this to Bryant, but I'm going in the opposite direction. I'm going with Ouachita. No. Let's go Tigers.
I'm the same way. Give me OBU in the win. In the 98th version of the Battle of the Ravine. Tomorrow at 11:45 down in Baton Rouge. We talked to Ty about it. It's LSU minus 5.5 over the Razorbacks. The rare early game at Tiger Stadium. Bobby Petrino versus Frank Wilson. Who had that one? Taylor Zarzer, Matt Stinchcomb, Alyssa Lang on the call. LSU leads 45-23-2. All time, 3 straight over the Razorbacks. Battle for the boot. These two have met twice in the Cotton Bowl after the 47 and 1966 seasons. Brian.
I'm going to go with Arkansas in this one. I think that with everything going on with LSU right now, that they're kind of in a weird spot. We saw in that game last week of, man, who are they going to ride with at the quarterback position? They made a change late in that game. Where do they go here? How does that affect with maybe even if they go with Nussmeier? He's got it in the back of his head. He could be pulled at any second. So I'll take Arkansas plus 5.5. This kind of the battle of who has been through it more with the interim coach longer might have more success. So I'll take Arkansas plus 5.5.
Good take, Landon.
Yeah, I'm going to side there with them with Arkansas. This Arkansas team is a fun team offensively. I mean, you look at the history of it's been a lot of losses, but they have been really tight games all the way down to the wire. And the biggest problem with LSU has been their offensive production. Their defense usually can get them out of a hole, but for the past previous weeks, LSU has not been doing that great. So I expect Arkansas to win straight up in this game.
I'm not going to go group lock. It's a matter of trust. So I'm going to trust the home team, even though it's being played at a time LSU fans are usually getting up, getting ready for a college football game day and Saturday night
getting ready
at
for all that
Tiger
drinking,
Stadium.
Brett.
A lot of drinking. 2:30 ABC, Alabama -6.5 over Oklahoma, Saban Field at BDS, 4-2-1 all time. The tie, 1970 Bluebonnet Bowl, 2 Orange Bowls, and other bowls, and for these two, once before they played in Titletown. Back in the 03 season, I was at that game. They played once in Norman. 957 wins for Oklahoma. They played twice in Norman, played there last year as well. 982 wins for Bama. 422 NFL draft picks for OU. 419 NFL draft picks for Alabama. 916 weeks in the AP polls for OU. 902 weeks for Alabama. Ty Simpson trying to be the Heisman Trophy winner for Bama. 7 all-time Heisman Trophy winners for OU. Sean McDonough, Greg McElroy, and Molly McGrath on the call. This used to be a great bowl game. Landon.
Yeah, I'm the loss early in the season for Alabama is now a thing of the past. That is something that was kind of a wake-up call for Alabama, but now it seems that they have returned to their old roots and have silenced all their doubters by going on this incredible run all season long, and I believe they continue that against Oklahoma. It's a good Oklahoma team, but I think Alabama's just that much better than them, and I expect them to win and take this away, so I'm going with the Crimson Tide.
Brian.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Alabama in this one. I think it's going to be a really good game, but, man, Alabama, it just looks like they've taken it to another level, so I'll ride with the Tide.
Group lock, but narrowly. Alabama wins. They cover the point spread. I have Bama winning 28-17, LSU 24-17 over Arkansas. 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon on ESPNU. ECU -2.5 over the University of Memphis. Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, probably the best stadium atmosphere in the American from all I've been told. I've never been, but everybody says that. ECU 17-8 all time against the Tigers. Blake Harrell, his first full year, took over last year, did a good job. They made him the permanent coach. Matt Schumacher and Dustin Fox on the call. ECU's forced at least 1 turnover in 7 of the 9 games this year. Season high 368 passing yards for all the quarterbacks last week for the Tigers against Tulane. Bryant.
I'm going to go with Memphis here. Our friend Jonah Dillon, he tweeted this out earlier this week when the line was posted, that Memphis has won its last 5 games when it entered as an underdog. So I'm a guy that rides with the trend, so I'm going to have to ride with that trend. Give me the Tigers.
Landon.
Brett, if it's okay with you, I'd like to ask Brian, on a scale of 1 to 10, how terrified are we of East Carolina?
A worry meter.
That kind of was a shot.
Road game and underdog. I'm pretty worried, Landon. I'll be honest.
All right, super worried. Not me. I'm not worried at all. I understand why East Carolina is favored in this game. Memphis has had some bumps, but those bumps don't continue this week. Give me the Tigers.
Well, I tell you who's scared. I'm scared, and that's why I'm scared of picking the Tigers, and I'm not. I'm taking ECU 38-28. 6 o'clock on ESPN tomorrow night in Oxford, where I am right now. Ole Miss -15.5 over the Florida Gators. The Gators lead all time 13-12-2. Got the advantage in the series last year, breaking everybody's heart down at the Swamp. Ole Miss hadn't defeated Florida in Oxford since Eli Manning was quarterback. Ole Miss ranked 7th in the CFP. Florida, if you haven't heard, they're very interested in hiring Lane Kiffin. Last year, Florida ended Ole Miss's college football playoff dreams and could do damage tomorrow. 13 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions for Trinidad Chambliss in one of the college football great stories of the year. Bob was choosing. Lewis Riddick, Chris Budden on the call. Ole Miss wins big, 42-17. Bryant.
Man, I'm going to go with Florida here. I really don't have any rhyme or reason on it, so I'll keep it quick, but that's a lot of points, and I just feel like this is one where you get up big, you let the young guys get in there, and then maybe Florida gets that backdoor cover, and Ole Miss wins by 2 touchdowns or something.
Landon.
Yeah, the point spread's a little bit too big for me here as well, so I'm going to go with Florida. But my reasoning behind it is you look at the big games that Florida has played in, and they tend to show up in those games. I think last week that wasn't in the big game scope for them with Kentucky, so they went down big. DJ Lagway did not have a great game, but you look at the Florida-Georgia game, it came down all the way to the wire. Very competitive game, so I expect it to be competitive. I expect Ole Miss to win, but give me Florida to cover.
6:30 tomorrow night on ABC. Georgia -6.5 over Texas. 4-3 all time. Texas leads. First trip to Athens. 900 wins all time for Georgia. 968 all time for Texas. Both with 2 Heisman Trophy winners, and no, Vince Young still hadn't won a Heisman Trophy at Texas. Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Holly Rowe on the call. Georgia can get behind, but they always, as they like to say, hard to kill, and they always come back. Kirby 113-20 in his 10 years at Georgia. Arch Manning with 18 touchdown passes this year, 2,123 in yards. He's cobbled together a good stat line. 12 ranked wins the last 3 years for Texas. That's most in the FBS. I'll start. Georgia wins, and Georgia wins handily. Georgia wins 35-10. Bryant.
This game feels like kind of the way Texas' season has gone, where we're all talking about Texas and Arch Manning and not really living up to the expectations, but they're still right there in the top 25. They're still right there in the brackets. This feels like a game where everyone says Georgia's going to dominate, Georgia's going to win by a lot, and then out of nowhere, Texas comes out there and wins the game or keeps it close. Because when I saw this, I immediately wanted to go Georgia, but for that very reason, I'm going to go the other side. I'm going to take Texas plus 6.5.
Well, I'm going to side with Brett. I'm going to go with Georgia in this game. I feel like they've been a really good team all the way through, and they show up when it matters most. And this is going to be a big game, but I think Georgia's going to run away with it, so give me the Dogs.
Stay right there with you, Landon, for your college football lock and shop.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get ahead early on my lock. I'm going to pick the game that's going to start in about an hour. I'm going to take
Look at
Louisville.
you, getting that Friday night dub.
Oh, yeah, I got to get some Friday night action. Well, this might be a little bit biased because next week Hawaii plays on Friday, so
we're both.
Kind of got to get in a little bit in the action. But I'm going to be taking Louisville minus that 2.5 versus Clemson. Look, this is not the Clemson team that we thought was going to be entering this year, so I think Louisville covers this game, no problem. Should win by a field goal, if not more. And my shock, I'm going to go with a ranked Virginia plus 5.5 against Duke, sticking with the ACC. This ACC is all the way up in the air, and the fact that Duke is favored in this game just points to that even more so. But I'm still going to go with the Cavaliers of Virginia.
My college football lock, I'm going to lay the 41.5 for Tennessee against New Mexico State and get there by a half point, 52-10. Wow. Big Orange, they win. Shock, South Carolina plus 17.5 at Kyle Field. They don't win, but they keep it close all night. A&M wins 24-21. I get there with all those points. Brian.
My lock, I'm going to go with Missouri State minus 4.5 over a really bad UTEP team. And for my shock, I'm going to go with Pitt plus the 12.5 over Notre Dame.
NFL starts early on Sunday morning from Madrid. Miami minus 2.5 over Washington. Rematch of 2 Super Bowls. The first one, Super Bowl 7, and the famous Gary Yepremian fumble. So many people wrongly say it was a pass. I promise you it was recorded as a fumble, not as an attempted pass. Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma, the announced team for the NFL Network from Spain. Miami leads 10-6 all time. The other Super Bowl, Super Bowl 17, played at the Rose Bowl Stadium, and John Riggins ran wild. I'm going to start with Miami. The Dolphins win easily and lay the 2.5 over Washington.
I'm going to go with Miami as well, and it really just came down to I was liking a lot of underdogs this weekend in the NFL. I just felt like I needed to go with one favorite, so give me Miami.
Landon?
Well, this is the battle of the Hawaiians, Tagovailoa versus Marcus Mariota, and I'm going to side with my first love in Marcus Mariota and this Washington team. I know Miami got a big win last week, but I don't think that continues this week, so let's go Commanders.
Traditional start time, noon, CBS Buffalo minus 5.5 over Tampa Bay. Ian Eagle and J.J. Watt. Tampa Bay leads 8-5 all time. The first meeting, 1976. How about these quarterbacks from Woodlawn High in Shreveport, Louisiana from the Razorbacks? Joe Ferguson starting for the Bills that day against Steve Spurrier. Steve Spurrier playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Give me the Buccaneers 24-10 over Buffalo. Brian.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Tampa here. I don't know if they win the game, but they keep it close. I'll take them plus 5.5.
All right, well, we have a group lock on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Definitely they're going to keep it close. I don't know if they'll win, but it'll be a good game, so let's go Bucs.
3 o'clock on Fox, Rams minus 2.5 over Seattle. Joe Davis and Greg Olson. Seattle leads 28-27 all-time, kind of the Chuck Knox Bowl. Give me the Rams laying the 2.5. Landon.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Seattle in this game. Even though Sam Darnold didn't have the greatest of games last week, that defense definitely stepped up and came to shine, and I think they continue that success this week, so I'm going to go with Seahawks.
Right?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Seattle as well. This is another one. I don't really have any rhyme or reason, but give me Seattle.
NFL lock and shock time for me. I'll go first. Pittsburgh minus 5.5 over Cincinnati. My lock, my shock, the Jags plus the 2.5 over the Chargers. Landon.
Oh, well, Brett, we're going to have to reverse that. My lock this week is going to be the Chargers minus the 2.5 versus Jaguars. I know we're going to have to put another Coke on the line or something with this one, but I like Justin Herbert. I like this offense. I think they take care of business. And my shock this week, I'm going to go with the Bears plus that 2.5 against the Vikings. The Vikings just kind of seem like a disarray, and the Bears are figuring things out week after week, so I think they upset them.
That's a good pick. The Bears are figuring out and being patient with a young quarterback. Bryant, quickly.
My lock, Green Bay minus 6.5 over the Giants. My shock, Lions plus 2.5 over the Eagles.
That's our Friday football forecast, brought to you every week by First National Bank and Trust, a proud division of First National Bank of Eastern Arkansas. For anything real estate, commercial, ag, hunting, recreational, contact them at fnbt.com, or those two great offices in West Tennessee, or call them at 901-498-5763. They build lasting relationships.
Well, let's get to our final break of the day. When we return, we'll wrap up today's show with Moe's Crunch Time.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Everything today is technologically based. Well, except maybe you. If you're struggling with tech, no matter what kind, call Tech For You. Tech For You for TVs, home theaters, cameras, smart locks, digital storage, and more. Tech For You makes it simple and affordable. Call 697-9695. Make your home safe, comfortable, and up to date with Tech For You. Stop struggling with tech. Call 697-9695. Veteran-owned and operated. Tech For You. Technology simplified.
Uncorn flavor, Corky's barbecue. We're cooking it up, down home way. Hickory smoke flavor like the good old days.
Hey y'all, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. With over 175,000 cars served in our drive-thru, 4,000 online pickup orders, and 1,500 party packs delivered to offices and events every year, Corky's is your trusted go-to barbecue for parties. Our party packs start at just $6.99 per person. You can choose 1, 2, or 3 meat combos, pick your favorite sides, and as you know, Corky's always gives you plenty of food, so you never worry about running out. Whether it's pickup or delivery, we've got you covered. Corky's makes it easy to impress your guests. Visit Corky'sBBQ.com to order for your next gathering today.
Uncorn flavor, Corky's barbecue.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-4214. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-4214. That's 800-575-4214. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, this is Erin with Millington Weight Loss and Wellness. Are you struggling with your weight loss journey? At Millington Weight Loss and Wellness, we have our new Evolve X treatments that melts the fat, tightens the skin, and works the muscles all in the same treatment. And it's on a summer blast sale for $100. That's a $300 savings. We also have our GLP-1 semaglutide and trizepatide, NAD+, ProTrim Plus, and B12 lipo injections. Millington Weight Loss and Wellness is located off of Highway 51 in Millington, behind Pop's Barbecue. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. Call us at 901-436-0272. We look forward to helping you with your weight loss journey.
All 20,000 per year, 25 cents excess mileage, 650 acquisition fee, K4 SE 182,921, MSRP 24,850. Sorrento SG 405, 858, MSRP 34,275, K5 DS 421, 572, MSRP 29,540. Includes all rebates and incentives, PF 895, must finance through KFA, excludes tax title and license with approved credit dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2025.
Hey Jeff, I heard it was the Kia Season of New Tradition sales event over at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah.
You heard right, Randy. We're closing the year out with our strong tradition of low pricing. 2025 Kia K4 LXS, $145 a month. $39.95 due at signing. 2025 Kia Sorrento LX, $172 per month. $49.95 due at signing. And a 2026 Kia K5 LXS, $192 a month. $39.95 due at signing, and all 24-month lease.
And they're all equipped with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
You can't beat that. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
That's Gossett Kia, 2680 Mount Moriah, or online, KiaMountMoriah.com.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need catering? Moe's Taco Truck is always ready to cater for you. Just give Jenny Nash a call at 901-606-3172. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco Crunch Time emergencies.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy! This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight?
This is for all the biggest Crunch Time. You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that?
Crunch time between the hedges.
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries. Its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee.
Goodbye! It's obviously Crunch Time.
Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need a crunchy bite to eat? Head to Moe's for nachos, crunch wraps, tacos, salads, and more. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco Crunch Time emergencies. Well, Brett, what I learned today is that after this weekend's game against Josh Pastner and UNLV, the Tigers will have some days off before they head down to the Bahamas for the Baha Mar Hoops Championship. And if anybody's been paying attention to the other three teams in this tournament, it is not going to be easy for the Tigers, and it was highlighted by last night's Purdue win over Alabama, an 87-80 win on the road for Purdue, the preseason number one team. They're now number two in the country. They looked really, really good against Alabama in what was a really fun game. But you look at those other two teams in there, Texas Tech, who's currently ranked number 11, they'll probably fall a little bit after losing a game to Illinois earlier this week, but they looked good in that game. And then Wake Forest, they took Michigan to overtime earlier this week as well. So it's going to be some stiff competition down in the Bahamas, which is good for the Tigers. You go down there, you win one, maybe even pull two big wins in both these games, no matter who they play out of these three. We know they'll play Purdue, they'll play one of Wake Forest or Texas Tech. Both those games will be great for the resume.
And this will make you better come tournament time,
exactly
for
right.
sure. It sure will. What I learned today, this is the time of the year to dust off every college football cliche. They remember what you did in November. Just win, baby. No style points, 1 point. And if you want to stay on that college football playoff bracket, keep winning. Right now, there's really not any style points. If you lose, you're at the mercy of the court. It's really pass or fail right now. It's no letter grades. It's pass or fail.
No, just go out there and win the games that are in front of you. And if you're in a spot to get to the college football playoffs, keep winning. That looks like it will probably happen. Well, Brett, what I could have done without today is just more and more and more with this Grizzlies team. And, it just feels like everywhere you look, more bad press with this Grizzlies. And this time, Grizzlies didn't even play a game, but you've got Marcus Smart with an interview where he talked about his time with the Grizzlies and the front office. You had Dylan Brooks last night after the Suns game talking to reporters and was asked, when was the last time you felt like you didn't have confidence? And he said, when I was with the Grizzlies, and the general manager is telling me not to shoot the ball. And I mean, it just seems like more and more bad press for this Grizzlies team. We've talked about it a ton. I think there needs to be a change, and I think it needs to happen at the top with that front office. But it feels like it's going to continue to get worse before it gets better.
I'm with you, and we talked about it earlier, but the ultimate piling on is when Marcus Smart and DB come off the top rope.
That's right, yeah.
That's
really
not synonymous with Grizzlies legends, is it?
No, it is definitely not.
I could have done without the American League MVP vote. I thought it would be the big dumper, but it wasn't. Don't want to be too critical of that stat line that Aaron Judge put up. But I thought a catcher doing something no catcher had ever done would be enough to win a close vote. I know a lot of the sports writers voting that New York City and voting that brand, the Yankees.
Yeah, but I said enough, I think, to start the show about how I feel about that vote. So I didn't want to put it as what I could have done without, because I just awful. But where are you beaming this weekend?
For the final time, 8 regular season home games this year, first time ever, and Ole Miss trying to win them all. I'll be in the Grove tomorrow at the best tailgate from the best place on earth, the Grove, alongside Gary Darby and Jake Ramada. We come on the air on this station at 4 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, David Kellum, Harry Harrison, John Darnell with all the game action, Gators and Ribs. A lot of Gators and fans, and boy, they're mouthy, but all the action right here on 98.5 and 560 AM.
This really isn't fun for the beaming machine, but can I just beam in front of my television tomorrow afternoon with the TV on ABC?
Yeah.
I mean, these two games, Alabama...
You can beam around the quad box.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
well, if the two TVs work, and then I can beam around the quad box.
Beaming machine can do anything, Brian.
Right.
You know that.
Can they fix YouTube TV and
they can't do that.
ESPN?
That's the only thing
I don't think so. But Oklahoma at Alabama, and then later that night, Texas, Georgia. Those are two really, really good games. Excited to see both those.
Yeah, I may have said enough earlier, too, about this, but we're going to watch Coach Josh Pastner, CJP, back in town Sunday afternoon. Gee Willikers, can you believe it? Can you believe he was the head coach of the Tigers instead of Scott Drew? I hope those nitwits that help engineer that, I hope they're really happy because that set this trend the Tigers are still on of not doing anything come March.
That's right. Well, it's going to be a fun weekend around the sports world, but here on Sports 56 tonight we'll have Ole Miss basketball. Tomorrow we'll have Ole Miss football. Sunday we'll have the NFL triple header. But enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you again Monday afternoon.
Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis has serious vans for serious work. At 4430 American Way, they are the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet? New or used, they've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter Van headquarters, 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road.
Looking for the best prices on shirts, jeans, boots, and more? Frontier Western Store has you covered. At Frontier, you'll always find amazing deals on everything in the store.